the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant to rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 470. We're starting year number 12 in this 2026. Happy New Year, Sarge. Happy New Year, chat. How's everyone doing? Doing well?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, rough. You can tell the energy difference between me and Sarge. Sarge is, I've been up for drinking all night, compared to I went to sleep right after midnight and woke up. What's going on, chat? Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Hopefully 2026 is better for most of you than 2025. Unless 2025 was a fantastic year or a shitty year, and then, well, no, a better year, and then I don't know. I don't even know where I was going to go with that. Sarge is ready to go back to sleep. I think he just woke up. Chad.
I've been sleeping on and off for most of the day.
Yeah, well, there you go. I was up and about at like 7. So what'd you do? What'd you do for New Year's?
Worked. I worked on New Year's. I worked until like 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then I left work. I went to go see Franco at his job. I drank a couple scotches there.
And stayed there till like what, 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, he left, but when he left, I left. Maybe it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I didn't drink anything. I went to the movies and watched Percy Jackson on Disney Plus, and then I went to sleep.
Which one? The newer one?
Yeah, the series with season 2. It's
pretty good. I like the original movies. So.
My son doesn't want to watch the movies, but he wants to watch the show. And it's funny. He's like, I just want to watch one episode. And there was 5 episodes so far, I think, of 8 or 10. And we watched the first one. He's like, can we watch one more? Sure. So we watched the second one. And he's like, can we watch another one? Sure. We watched the third one. We watched the fourth one. We watched the 5th one. So we watched all 5 episodes yesterday. We were only supposed to watch one.
I had an episode. It was the drinking episode. I thought I was dreaming, but I was actually still drinking. It was interesting. You know,
Aku says
you drink and you kind of pass out, and then you wake up and
wake back up.
You think that your dream you just had was you drinking, but you still have the drink in your hand, so you wouldn't dream.
It's like Inception.
Was
our top spinning?
Drinking about dreaming. Wow.
Yeah, dreaming about drinking.
Dreaming about drinking while drinking. Yes,
while drinking. He says the year will be determined on how many Concords and Mind's Eye we get. Yeah. We already got one. The first one is High Guard coming in. Everyone thinks that's the first Concord of the year. Then we have Marathon. So it's like, wait a minute. Is High Guard Concord or is Marathon Concord? Which one's Concord? I don't know. I honestly don't think either of these games are going to be Concord, because Concord is going to be so hard to beat. 13 days. You got to fail and close down in 13 days. Not just be like, oh, the game failed. No, the game has to be shut down and the studio has to close in 13 days. I don't see that happening to Bungie. Maybe for maybe for High Guard. I don't know the developers' names there, but you gonna say something, Sarge? No. All right.
I was forming a thought. So the cable guy. The cable guy came during
I had a cable guy come to my house.
Came during the Christmas break, right? And so he's a young guy, and so I was trying to play the stupid old guy, like I don't know nothing, right?
Yeah,
and I was asking the dumb questions to see where he would lead me. And he goes, how come you don't have the newer modem? And I go, because I don't know. Because I don't know if you guys are using the.
Where's the modem?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are using the new modem to throttle me. And he looked at me, and I go, I know what speed is coming to the house, and I know where the splitters are. So I'm always checking to see where the cut is that you guys are governing me. And so the new modem doesn't have any lights on it at all, so you can't tell shit. You know the old one? It shows the lines. It shows if it's online.
Yeah.
It shows phone lines that are attached to the actual thing, so you know what the fuck is going on, right? This one is a fucking white box, looks like my Xbox, like the Xbox Series X, but it's white, and it has one Cylon eye at the top.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
One Cylon eye at the top and nothing else. There's no buttons, no switches, no windows, nothing. And I go, what is this going to tell me? What is that going to? He's like, oh no, if it's yellow, it's not on. And he goes, if it's green, it means there's a problem. And if it's white, everything's all right. I go,
green means problem?
Green mean? That's what I said. I said, green means a problem? He goes, yeah. And so he plugs everything in, and I'm waiting.
Why do I feel like the guy I'm picturing in my head, the cable guy came over, was like, nothing against people that are overweight, but I feel like this guy was like,
no
like
butt crack.
350 butt crack. He was
20,
like, yeah,
20,
like really
20,
jolly guy that just came and sold you a,
22-year-old guy with broken English, but he knows a lot about he how he was speaking. He understood what he was doing, but he didn't know how to express with words what he knew. Right, so I had to keep asking different kinds of questions so he would say something different. And he goes, no, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna look at it. And he just starts looking at it, and I'm like, what's looking at it gonna do? And he's like, how long have we got to wait? We've been here 20 minutes. How long does it take to hook up? He's like, it takes some time. It has to send the signal. I said, Pony Express signal? Like, what are we talking about? The signal's in the lines, kid. What are we doing? Right. So finally the box lights up, and he's like, oh. I go, what? He goes, it's green. And I go, yeah. Isn't that good? He goes,
is he colorblind? Does he know green means good? In no world does green mean bad.
Bro,
in zero world.
I'm telling you, he pointed at it. He's like, look at it. And the Cylon eye is green. And I go, so green is bad now. And he goes, yes. And I go, okay. And I go, okay. So I go, so what's the problem? Where do we go from here?
So
right, because now
what does red mean?
Because now I have no internet, right? And he's just looking at it. And I go, so where do we go from here, kid? Like, what's the riddle? What are we doing? He's like, do you know where? And he stopped talking. He's just staring. And I'm like, I don't know if he's got special needs, special problems. He's a new guy, right? He stops talking, and then he goes like this. He goes, do you know where the wires meet? And I go, the wires meet? He goes, yes.
He's probably asking you if there was a connector.
I got it. Yeah. I'm going through the story. I know what I'm talking about. He says, I go, you're talking about where the line comes into the house? And he goes, yes. And I go, yeah, I know where the line's coming to the house. He goes, good. He goes, take me. Right. So I go,
like you're going on an adventure.
Right. So I go,
come on, Frodo. We're going on an adventure.
So I go into the garage. I pull down the attic stairs. I go up to the stairs and I show it to him. I go this, and it's this box with like spaghetti wires everywhere, because every other guy who shows up just throws another thing in there. That's what they do, right?
Sure.
And he goes, he's like, oh, and I go, oh, what? Like he says, oh, but he says nothing afterwards. Like this is long.
He's processing in his head. He's like, Mother,
right,
Jesus Christ. He's praying to the Mother of Mary because he saw your cable connector and it had 15 other connectors in it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to be here a while.
This is what he said to me. He's like, oh, you have a booster, and I go, I have a booster. I thought that was the splitter. He goes, no. He goes, this is old. And I go, yeah, the house is old. He goes, no, this is old. And I go, well, yeah, we don't call the cable guy every week to check up on shit. You throw a box in there, and when the cable doesn't work anymore, we call you, and then somebody else shows up and does something else funny until the next guy comes. Like you guys never talk to each other. It's not like I didn't see you pull up
you have a record.
Form,
you could look at my record
when
you guys
shows
exactly
what happened, right? I don't see you pulling up that. So then he goes, you don't need that anymore. And I go, what do you mean I don't need it anymore? The whole point of the booster was we had a problem with signal.
They're doing fiber now. They're doing fiber.
Okay. He goes, no, you got a good speed coming to the house now. And I go,
yeah.
Oh, okay. So where do we go from here? And he goes, I see him up there. He's doing something. And then he goes, here. And he just hands me the booster. And I go, what's this? What am I going to do with this? He goes, you don't need it. And I'm like, that's the solution. The solution now is the thing up there that was giving me internet. I don't need it anymore.
Really wasn't a problem. All you got to do was just disconnect it.
Right. So then he comes
And
back
then said,
downstairs.
$250.
Yeah. He comes downstairs. We go back to the modem, and he goes, look. If it's all white, it's all right. It's white. Now it's
If
white.
it's all white, it's all right.
Yeah, the eye is white, right?
Okay.
And he goes, no more green. And I go, no more green. Yeah, I see that. No more green. That's white. Right?
Yeah.
He goes, do a speed. He goes, do a speed test. He goes, do a speed test. And I go, okay. So I bring up the speed test. He goes, no, not that one. That one's not good anymore. I'll give you mine. He puts the website in, because the website I use speed testing for the cable company.
Yeah, everyone uses this as a regular speed test. Yeah.
He goes, don't use that one. Use this one. And I go, like what is it? Like your friend's garage? He's hooked up. He just tells everyone their speed is great. Like one of those type of things.
Yeah.
Right. So we put it in, and he's like, what's your package? And I go, well, the last time I checked, it was 600 down, and I think 80 up. I think is what it was a long time ago.
Oh,
right,
Sarge, you got numbers you could stream, buddy.
right.
Let's
And
go.
then he goes, look, check it. And I
You
go,
got
okay.
you got 600 up, 600 down.
So now I have 800 down and 100 up.
Okay.
And I go, that's pretty good. I go, but is it stable? Can I check a different site? He goes, yeah, you can check a different site. So I check a different site, and it's all about the same. Because I thought he was just giving me a site to go to that
Sure.
says everybody's thing is great. Look how great it is, right? You know, one of those. Yeah. So now I noticed, and it's been a while. I noticed that I don't get the intermittent freezes that I used to get. He goes, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
He goes, you were getting intermittent freezes, weren't you? And I go, yeah. And he goes, it's because of the booster. I'm like, so let me understand this. The booster that was needed because the signal was weak gave me the signal, but now because the signal was better, the booster is interfering with the speed, so I was getting less speed because of the booster.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
the boosters
I'm like, all right.
is getting it in, but it stops there. That's the intermediate, and then it's shooting it through, right?
Yeah,
That's why you're getting
the stupid thing right here, the little white lights.
Yeah, but is there a red light on your box? Is there a red light on that box?
Oh no, there's no red, bro. Red is very negative.
Green is bad.
Yellow.
If it's
green,
white, it's
and
all
white.
right.
If it's
Yeah.
red, it's all right.
Yellow, it's caution.
Yep.
My cable thing wasn't this exciting. I had a guy who also was not English speaking his first language, but really nice guy. Came over.
It's possible, Brain. It's possible.
Came over, checked the side, said, all good here. Came over to the other side, said, everything's okay here. He goes,
Well-
I'm gonna go up to the pole. He went up the pole, goes like 20 minutes later, came back and goes, yeah,
The suck inside, and they go
yeah. He's like,
yeah.
And he this is how he sounded. He said, I don't know how you say the node, the nod,
The nod, yeah.
the node,
Yeah, the nod.
and it's node, right, which is the thing that connects. He goes,
fucking E. It's no.
he goes, problem, separate. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. What does that
Where do
mean
we
for
go?
me?
Where do we go from here?
Yeah,
Like,
where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
And he goes, good news, everything good here. Bad news, node. I was like, okay, great. I was like, where do we go with the node? He goes, I call, they come, and I'm like, they come, okay. And he's like, yeah, they could come today or end of the week. And I was like, oh, okay. And this is Monday. So from Monday afternoon till maybe tomorrow.
That's the long version of from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah,
That's
but here's the
long
greatest
version.
part.
It's a week instead of an hour.
They won't call to let me know they're here because they don't have to interact with me. They just have to go to the node. Right?
Just a stealth visit.
They just anytime. So I don't know. They could have been here already. Right?
How would you know? Unless you got cameras, right?
I don't know. Yeah. So that was it. Was he Indian? No, he was Puerto Rican.
No, not Indian. No.
Yeah. My
he
guy was
kinda-
Puerto Rican.
He kind of looked like, how do I, no, that's too old of reference. Nobody will get that. Anyway, so in case, what I'm going to check now is the next kind of 4 or 5 shows, I want to see if this happens.
Well, it could happen.
Where I'm frozen and it doesn't work. We're going to see. We're going to see if it happens.
Yeah. So, but here's the good news for me. Whenever they do fix it, they've upgraded the internet around me, right? So now we have fiber.
That's what happened to us.
But it's not true fiber. It's not the fiber optic cable.
It's low.
It's fiber through the coax cable.
Low protein
Yeah,
fiber.
it's a coaxial cable, but the fiber comes through that now or whatever. I have no idea. The guy said, he goes, "What do you pay for now?" And I have 500 down. I think it's actually 650 down, 20 up type of thing. He goes, you go get 1,000 up, 1,000 down. I was like, oh, all right.
1,000
So
up, 1,000 down.
Yep. For the same price that we're paying right now.
This black market box he's about to give you. What are you talking about?
No, that's what it is. So that
1,000 down.
What we paid for, it moves up to that same plan. So now I get 1,000 up, 1,000 down. I don't know when it happens though. I don't know when it happens.
Yeah,
it's a surprise. It's like Christmas come late. Yeah, it can happen tomorrow. It could happen next week. I have no idea.
Your computer on your
Yeah. When that happens, 1,000 down, I'm streaming on all platforms, multi-streaming on everything. When I get 1,000 down or 1,000 up, I'm going multi-stream on Kick, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all of them. You're gonna see me in crystal clear. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
So, like the Christmas present that I got randomly, the cable guy showed up. Yep.
Yeah.
The games that I've been playing, the online games have been doing better. So, not getting locked out.
I'll tell you what. We played when we were down south. We were playing. My son and I were playing like Fortnite. I was playing on the cloud. He was playing Wi-Fi. Local Wi-Fi. I was playing on the cloud. We had no issues. We were playing multiplayer. We were playing, duos, and I never had any issues. Now, we did play the finals, and I had a little bit of hiccups when I was playing the finals. But when I was playing Fortnite, I had no issues with Fortnite. But
you know what I think you need to get? You need to boot up Grand Theft Auto 5, and you have to put on the station.
Okay.
I forget what station it was. I think it's the PBS station, right? On the PBS station, they have the commercials for the cloud computer service thing, like different kinds of commercials, and you need to get a sound bite of that. The cloud, what's in the cloud? What about the cloud? The cloud the cloud gag. This is like 15 years ago, and now that's true. Like the cloud jokes from the spoof commercial are actually true now.
It's in the cloud now. Yeah,
right.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Well, Dupless, they don't have to actually dig up anything anymore. And if they do, your dig up spot. So what happens is when they put the wire through, they have a little machine that they like put the wire on and it goes, and it flips through. And once it gets to the other side, they just pull it through the tubes underneath the ground at the junction points.
Actually, they tie it around a lizard's
a little lizard.
Run through the tube. Yeah.
Aku says 30 fiber with the equal up and down speeds will make cloud gaming super viable. Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, it's viable now for me. Yeah. He's saying if you have it, then it's much better. So on today's show, Sarge, we're going to be talking about the Indie Game Award disqualified Clair Obscur. We didn't have a show last week, so we're going to kind of backtrack a week or two back. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Avatar, Fire and Ash, all the box office records. It says broken. We're going to talk about after originally being revealed in 2020, Arc 2 with Vin Diesel in it when they showed it has been delayed yet again until 2028. That was supposed to come out in 2023. We're going to talk about Microsoft denies reports about the increased profit margin goal at Xbox. We're going to talk about EA company shareholders approve the $55 billion sale. Of course they do. I mean, technically, we don't even have to talk about that. Netflix acquired a game avatar maker called Ready Player Me. We're going to talk about 007 delayed till May, 2 months, 2 months after it was supposed to come out. We're going to talk about Xbox dead, long live Xbox. I talked about this earlier this week. We're talking about Switch 2, Mario Kart World bundle production ends. So you're not going to be able to get the bundle anymore because Nintendo's like, we're losing money. We could make it an additional $30 if we don't. I see that. I saw. Was it me or you? I don't know. We're going to talk about RAM prices increase. Could see the next generation consoles release delayed. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to talk about, it looks like Call of Duty is starting to overtake Battlefield 6. We're going to look at Battlefield 6's numbers. And we're going to talk about Starfield. Or, sorry, it's not Starfield. Star Citizen is on course to reach $1 billion in player funding in 2026. And then we're also going to talk about the 10 most worst games of 2025 according to Metacritic. All right, so that's what's on the show today, guys. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30 NSG, Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. This is the first episode of 2026, so if you guys like it, like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. And you can also listen to the past broadcasts over on Spotify. All the broadcasts are up there. Except for the last 3. I don't think I've uploaded those yet. It's a long Christmas. But basically, every single episode from 1 to 470 will be up on Spotify, audio and video. So check it out. All right, so let's get to what we've been playing. Hold on, where the hell is that? Oh, there it is. All right, Sarge. It's been 2 weeks. You play anything different or new, or
No, nothing.
same
new.
stuff that you've been playing?
Yeah, same stuff I've been playing. We've been busy at work, so between going to work and online during the day, I don't really play a lot of new stuff right now. I'm waiting for the lull. The lull should be about mid-January.
I'm playing a lot of different games. One, I've been playing since August. I've talked about this in the past. I've been playing Disney Speedstorm, so I play that, like log in every day, do my daily stuff and whatnot. So I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit of Arc Raiders again since I came back from holiday break for the last week or so, last couple days. Enjoying it, not loving it like I did before, but I'm enjoying it. I've been playing Roadcraft. I put a couple time into Roadcraft yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, Tuesday was yesterday. And then I've also been playing Wayfinder. Wayfinder was a game that I originally played the beta back in like 2022, and then it came out in like late 2023, and then came out on console in 2024. But I was gonna buy it, played the beta, enjoyed it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off. I don't feel like it's complete. They went through a whole thing where it was an MMO type of game, and then got basically switched to a single player co-op experience type of thing. And they took everything that was a microtransaction in the game, and they made it where you can just earn it in the game now. And I waited and I started picking up, I think it was like August, September, I picked it up. And I started playing it again, and I really like it. It's actually a really little fun, like dungeon crawler type of experience. There's like 7 or 8 different characters that you can pick and choose. I have a tank character right now. It's got like an open-esque area that you can go into, and then you actually go into like this dungeon area, and there's like modifiers that you can put on. So it's sort of, think about like Destiny, like running raids, not raids.
Is this a first person or third person?
Third person. It almost looks like World of Warcraft a little bit, or like a Dauntless type of thing. You're not fighting like monsters to get recipes or anything like that. You're just fighting. You're going through layers or dungeons, and you're getting treasure chests and different things, and you get different gear. There's a gear score to get into certain things. Then there's mods that you can put on stuff there. You can upgrade. The grind is upgrading your gear and upgrading your weapons and whatnot to, like, I forget what the word is. It's like legendary or whatever it is. It's actually a pretty fun game. I play with Eclipse, and I play with Altern last week one night. It's a pretty fun game. It's kind of sad that they, I mean, I like what they did with the game. It's a much better game now, in my opinion, because it's like make a game, sell a game. Before, it was this like game that they were going to try to nickel and dime you.
Was it updated over the holidays? Is it an older game now?
No, it's over a year old now. I just picked it up recently, about 5 months ago, but I didn't get around to play it until recent. But I'm having fun with that. So Wayfinder, I'm playing that as well. There's another couple games I been playing as well. I played the finals. I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I went back and played the finals. Played it a little bit more. I enjoy it. Not in love with it, but it's like something different.
Isn't the final same kind of premise as Apex Legends, though, team-based?
No, Apex Legends is a battle royale. The finals is a 3v. Well, you could play different game modes, but it's a 3v3v3. Think of like Smash TV a little bit, where you're like trying to get prizes and money. What you're doing in this game is there's fully destructible environment. You're going up against 2 other teams. There's 3 teams total. And you have to try to get these bank vaults, and you have to try to claim the bank vaults and run around. So you get points for killing people. You get points for taking over certain things. So if I capture the actual point, I get points. But if before the timer runs out, if I get the money, so you could hold it for like 30 seconds, but I come in and I kill you, grab this and steal it from you, and then I hold it for the other 30 seconds, I get the money that's in the thing. So you're trying to get $50,000 cash, and you can spread across it. So you might win the game with...
It sounds like a criminal simulator.
Yeah, you might win the game with like 20,000 and a couple of kills or whatever. You get more points and stuff like that. And there's different maps, fully destructible environment. Same guys that created Battlefield back in the day. This is Embark, the same people that made Arc Raiders. This is their first game that came out. Pretty fun game. It's a pretty fun game. I don't really like the lots of microtransactions. Obviously, it's a free-to-play game. So there's a lot of microtransactions in the game, but overall the gameplay is actually pretty fun. There's a light class, medium class, heavy class. They each have their own little special abilities that you can use. You can mix match them. You can use different class guns with different. So if you want to be a heavy and you want to use a shotgun, or you want to use
was this game pushed back out again because of the fact of
it's
coming out? And
no. Well, they did. The reason I played it
was it cross promoted.
Yeah, it was cross promotion. So if you played the finals, you got a skin to go inside of Arc Raiders. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. So I went over to the finals, paid it a little bit, got a skin unlocked for Arc Raiders. So fun game. So I've been playing lots of different games. Yeah, Altern says super fun dungeon crawler. They have classes in finals. Yeah, there's a light class, medium class, and a heavy class. I wouldn't really call them classes. I mean that's what they are. There's a light, medium, and heavy, and then you can mix match what gear you put on these characters if you want. So if you like doing heavy. Right, he's got like a thing where he smashes through walls and whatnot. Another guy's got like a grapple hook, and you can mix match the different things that you want to do. Eclipse says, "What's cool is you get to play 3 rounds, and each round the loser leaves. Eventually, it's a 3v3 at the end of the game show." Yeah, so there's lots of different game modes. So, and actually, my son's actually enjoying it. He's actually pretty good at it. So he's moved on over.
Yeah, because he's finally getting his reaction time now.
Yeah, he's moved over from like Fortnite, and he's moved on over to the finals a little bit.
Yeah.
So
the video gaming transition's about to take place where he finally understands his hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of different games at the moment. So that's basically it. It's a quick what we've been playing. So anything else that you've been playing or no?
No, I'm stuck with the same things for the moment. Listen, I because of all the things that are going on, I'm not buying anything, not for a while. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even.
I was close to buying Space Marines 2 because it was $26.
I know, $26. I called you up. I'm like, is it time? Is it time?
I said no.
Yet?
I'm still waiting because I got to see what the Steam Machine. If the Steam Machine's a good price, I might pick it up and then buy it for PC because then I can play it on PC and I can also play it on the Steam Machine.
Plus the mods.
Right, plus the mods.
But
mods. If the Steam Machine's too expensive or it's a higher price, then I might pick it up for console. I don't know yet. We'll see. I mean, by the time I decide that, it might be on Game Pass.
At this point, I think people are gonna be Frankensteining PCs together. That's what they're gonna have to do.
Sure. All right, let's go to the top stories. All right, Sarge, we got the first story I want to talk about. It was a big story about a week and a half ago, is Indie Game Awards disqualifies Clair Obscur Expedition 33 due to generative AI. Okay, the Indie Game Awards took place on December 18th, and many could assume that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 took home the awards for the Game of the Year debut game. However, things have changed, and the Indie Game Awards are making big decisions to strip Clair Obscur developer Sandfall Interactive of the award over a use of generative AI in-game, which they didn't use in-game. They used it before the game, but they forgot to take out the artwork off the newspaper stand before the game, and they fixed it 5 days later. But it was announced that made Saturday on afternoon, 6-1 Indie, the creators of the show said the removal comes after a discovery after voting was done and the show was recorded. The Indie Game Awards have also a hard stance on using generative AI throughout the nomination process and during the ceremony itself. The statement reads, when you submit the conditions, and representatives of Sandfall Interactive agree that no generative AI was used in the development of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. In the light of Sandfall Interactive confirming that the use of generative AI on day of the Indie Game Awards 2025 premiere, it does disqualify Clair Obscur Expedition 33 from its nomination. So what I find funny is I think they're taking the wrong stance because they're making it sound like, and I can't do anything, I don't know why it froze here. they make it sound like they developed the entire game with AI, right? Where they just used it for certain things. And I think I think they're projecting, and they're just doing this a performance type of thing, because more and more people are going to be using AI. So are they going to change the complete rules of the Indie Game Awards 2 years from now, when everyone is using AI in some way, shape, or form? It doesn't matter if they're using AI to put a square, a triangle, and a circle on a thing just to map out what they want to do before they actually hire an artist to do the actual stuff. You know what I mean? Like a placement type of thing. And they ask ChatGPT a question. You know what I mean? They use generative AI during development process. So what do you think about this, Sarge? Do you think that the Indie Game Awards is overreacting to this? Do you think that there's a bigger problem here? And because Expedition 33 is, we heard stories about they shouldn't win that many awards, they should share the wealth or whatever it is. Like, do you think it's more, or do you think the Game Awards is right to do what they're doing, but they're also overreacting?
Yeah, it's misplaced anger about something that we know they're all going to be doing. You have to remember, stay on target. Okay, the narrative is we cannot have a AA studio dictating how the industry is going to go. So they have to find anything and everything to laser down Clair Obscur and put them in the negative light. The fact that you're using the AI, I think, is the most piss poor angle you could possibly take, because number one, they're all going to use it. This is how dumb the media is, even when they're trying to help out the guys that are paying them, right? If you attack Clair Obscur with an AI charge or generative AI or whichever version of AI you don't seem to like, right? If you attack them on that angle, then every single game that comes out from here on has to be attacked the same way. And that's
Correct.
not going to look.
That's not going to
look.
keep the
That's
same
not gonna look
energy,
good.
right?
Yeah,
That's
not going to look good. Every time a new game comes out, you're going to have somebody standing on a soapbox screaming, "I got generative AI!" Like, that's going to happen every game that comes out. Like, no. So the narrative is we got to keep this guy under the thumb and make it look like they did a bad thing. Clair Obscur did a bad thing. Won 9 awards, too many awards. Like, it's nonsense, right? The narrative is the narrative. Stay on target. We know what this is, right? It's just their turn,
Right.
But let's remember, right? You don't fire as many people as you fire unless you've got other ways to run your company. And I'm pretty sure different versions of AI are in different levels of the company, and this is how it's going to be. So
Right.
the fact that they want to jump all over them and like, well, you're going to have to remove that award. You guys can't do that with generative. Like, where's that rule? Show me the rule. Show me the rule that says if you use generative AI,
well, that's their rule.
You don't get an award. When did that rule come out?
That was their rule. The indie games that they came out and said it. I don't know. I've never read their handbook of the internet.
Right. So before the award show came out, after they won the 9 awards, when their award show came out, they made the rule that says
I think it'd be really funny. I think it'd be really funny and hypocritical if they used AI in any way, shape, or form to help with their award show or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they did, but to hold people to this standard and they're not using it. When they say using it in development, literally asking ChatGPT for a question of, hey, should we use this or this?
But
that would be considered using AI.
Yes, but they want to nitpick. That AI is okay. It's the generative AI that we're focusing on. That one's okay. Like, all of a sudden now you're going to nitpick on which one you decide is bad and or good, right? That's what we're doing.
Right now, Sony, Xbox, Nintendo, they're all using generative AI to make frame rates. They're making the frame rates in between frame rates to make it seem like it's 60 frames per second. You know what I mean?
And it's not. Yeah.
They're all using it. So all those games that are trying to make it look like they're doing 60 frames per second, well, they're out the door. They can't win awards now either.
Now you're going to have the gatekeepers dictate which AI is good and which AI is bad, because you got to keep the narrative going under the thumb. Yeah. You got to keep it going. Like, it's nonsense, bro. It's nonsense, right? Listen, you guys do whatever you got to do to think that you're going to bury Clair Obscur. Meanwhile, Clair Obscur got a big ass broom and swept your ass into the fucking gutter.
They used a plunger to blow up
Right?
the game
Yeah.
industry by themselves.
Yeah, by
The narrative is
themselves.
completely gone.
Narratives exploded. No one gives a shit anymore. So now you better find a way to make some money, because I know it's not just the narrative anymore. It's all the investors. They went like this. I have a question. How come you took our $100 million and flushed it completely down the toilet?
Right.
And
Right.
they made a $10 million game when they raked in all the money. I want to answer that question with you?
Yeah.
We'll have you talk to our assistants.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. I'm gonna have to check.
Yeah. So the narrative for the investors now is completely blown. They're going to be asking a lot of questions. This whole year, you're going to hear about a lot of. Here's my prediction. This is day one, bro. This is day one, right? You're going to have a shit ton of games announce that they're canceled, like straight up canceled, like a bunch. Not we've heard of it in the past, yes, but I'm talking about a list coming up that's be like, nope, sorry, because they know that if they do it, they bankrupt themselves. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, another one, Silk Song, right? Silk Song was made by 3 people. 3 people charged $20, and when that came out, everyone's like, well, wait, if you're charging $20 for this, then how am I supposed to charge my game? And that's another narrative of stuff.
But that's the other part of the equation. You are actually listening to the industry collude out loud, right? They're
saying the out loud part. Yeah.
Right? You're not supposed to say to the guy who's undercutting you, don't do that. We're all in this together. Like, you don't say that. You go, you pull them off to the side, outside of the media, and you go, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. And if you guys don't make your numbers, we'll take care of you in the back. Like, that's a backroom deal. They're shouting in the middle of the field with the media speakerphones behind them, like, yeah, you can't charge $20 because then I have to charge less for my game. Like, yeah, we know that's how it works. It's called a capitalistic system.
It's called competition, right?
Yes, that's how it works. I don't get it, man.
It's crazy to me that they literally are saying the quiet parts out loud now.
They're too stupid.
They started with Larian Studios a couple years ago, and they're like, "Don't expect this in other games."
Out loud.
Right? This is not the standard. Right.
So what you're saying is the team that put together the game. Really, it's an insult, right? Because what you're saying is the team put together an amazing game, sheer luck.
Yeah.
Right. They had no talent at all. Sheer luck.
They didn't actually mean to do what they did.
Yeah. They didn't mean it. It was like they won a lottery. And we can't expect everyone to win the lottery. That's not how this goes.
Right. And then you get other games that come out, right? You get one guy that made Schedule 1 that did very well, right? Yep. Then you got the other guy that comes and makes Mega Bonk. Then you have the other person come out and make Silk Song, right? Then you have Expedition 33. Then you have Blueprints. You have all these like games that came out that
talent.
Like, right.
Talent.
People actually make a game, sell a game.
Talent.
And AAA's freaking out because they're like, oh, well, you can't have that. They're putting bangers out there. Everyone's like, oh, Battlefield 6 is the greatest game this year. Stop.
That everybody played for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that in a little bit.
The greatest game ever that we all bought, but then stopped playing after 10 days.
Right. Meanwhile, Arc Raiders, $40, right? And 400,000 people are still playing it 1 month later, right? Battlefield 6, been out for 2 months, 2.5 months, and they lost 90% of their player base, right? Breaking just over 100,000 people now. Still great. Hell, I would love 100,000 people to watch me. You know what I mean? But it's not the same. But people are delusional, and AAA has to keep pushing the narrative. We have this many players. We sold this many things, but they don't tell you the actual number. They let someone else tell the number. Meanwhile, Expedition 33 comes out and says, we sold 7 million copies. We sold this many copies. Silk Song says, hey, we sold this many copies. Schedule 1 says we sold this many copies because those numbers help them and go, wow, this is actually a really good game. AAA has to beg. They're like, Shadows has sold this many copies. Dragon Age Veilguard sold this many copies, right? Like they have to take the narrative. And then when they can't do the narrative, they're like, oh, well, this is not what you're supposed to get. This is just a luck out of the thing. Right, like a 1 in a million type of chance, but the 1 in a million type of chance is happening more and more because people are passionate in making the video games
because they have talent. Because you're letting the talent speak for itself.
Yeah,
right. You have to remember when the talent's too good and it looks like they might get more bang for the buck. They have to keep that down, bro. You can't You remember. You have to remember all the things that were said for the last couple of years out loud, and then they bury the story, they bury the lead. Remember when they said you can't over deliver? Remember that?
Yeah,
that was a big story.
Keep your expectations low.
Keep your
don't
expectations low,
over-deliver.
and don't over deliver, because over delivering means there's talent in the pool and you get more for your money. We can't allow that to happen. We can't allow our team to over deliver because here's the best part. Then they'll always expect that. So they'll always expect that you make a good product. That's the bad thing. You're worried it's going to happen. If someone releases a good game and it's too good, the problem is they'll always want a good game. Like that's like saying you want the baker to make a good loaf of bread, but God forbid he makes the bread horrible after the first one. No, he knows how to make bread. You get the same loaf every time. How is this different? Right? A bunch of people know how to make a game. Let them make the game.
Right.
Let them. Right?
Yeah.
Nope. Can't have it.
Tarnish Gamer says they're confident in their numbers. AAA isn't because they know the budgets are out of control. Yeah, well, that's just it.
Out of control.
Expedition 33 knows that they $10 million budget, and they tell you if they sold 7 million copies and the game was $50, math, right? We're like, hey, that's very successful. They made money, but 5 studios, right? $500 million for Battlefield 6, and they're like, we sold 10 million copies. But it's not official. It's not official. They're like, we sold 10 million copies. You're like, yeah, it's very successful. Is it?
It's not.
Is it? Because you have to sell way more copies because 5 studios, 4 years, 500, maybe $600 million for what they spent. They've lost money right now.
But the words they choose very carefully. It's the best-selling game. That's correct.
Sure. No, it is the best-selling game.
Because Battlefield sells between 3 and 6 million, right? That's their number.
Correct.
But the difference is you selling the number that you sold. It's the best-selling. Still isn't enough to make up for the money that you spent.
Yeah. Here, well, we might as well just bring this up since we're talking
profitable.
about it.
The argument you're going to have somebody come in here and say, "Well, it's the best-selling game. They the best that they've ever did." Yeah, but they didn't make their money back. They didn't make a profit. It's 5
they might have
studios.
Yeah, they might have. We don't know because
if they sold enough to cover their nut, it would have been in the papers, in the articles. But they don't talk about sales. They talk about numbers. They don't talk about sales. And this is going to go on now for the rest of our lives. Everybody talked about sales before, and now secretly we're only talking about numbers.
Remember, EA is private company after the Saudi Arabia's buy them.
Irrelevant.
So they don't actually have to say it.
They don't have to say it.
Anything anymore, right? It's not. It's
don't have
right.
to say it.
But look at this, right? Players right now. Well, let me refresh this because I don't know if this is.
It might have gone up.
Let me refresh this. 86,000. So it went down. It went down 2,000. Okay, 86,000 people right now. Okay, 119,000 in the last 24 hours. 774 people. 47 people. Right. This is launch. This is Red Sec right here. Right, this little kick up right here. If Red Sec didn't come out, do you understand that this number would just go way down faster? But Red Sec came in and went pop. Everyone's like, oh, let me try it out. And then like, I'm done. And then it just started going out, right? There's another post somewhere. I couldn't find it again that I saw somewhere on Twitter. So obviously it's true, Sarge, with no sources. They said that Battlefield 6 has sold 20 million copies now, right? Let me just If you want to believe that, that they sold 20 million units,
let's
obviously
let's say it's true. Let's say it's true.
Yeah, let's just say it's true. If they did,
none of them are on Steam.
The additional 10 million, right? The additional 10 million copies, not one of them was on Steam.
None of them was on Steam
because if the holidays came in, here's Christmas, man. Christmas is here, right? Oh, let me back it up. Right, Christmas came out. Let's go to Max. Okay, this is 21st. Here's Christmas. There's literally a dip before Christmas.
It did go up though, bro. It went up.
It did go up, right? If there's 10 million more people playing this game, but none of them are on Steam, they're all on console.
Yeah, 10 million copies, all console. Yeah.
Wait, and no one's bought an Xbox because Xbox has only sold 1.8 million Xboxes for the entire year. Okay. Yeah. And even if there was people, let's say there's 38 million, 40 million people that own an Xbox, okay? Obviously, you didn't sell 10 million just to Xbox. So that means the majority of the people bought it on PlayStation. The extra 10 million people. Because this number has not gone up. This number has gone down, okay? Obviously, it's not on Game Pass yet. Xbox guys don't buy games, right? That's what this is. But the industry, I'm just going with what the industry says, Sarge, right?
So you keep checking the boxes of the narrative.
Yeah, make it make sense to me. If they have 20 million copies sold, but Steam numbers keep dropping, and yet no one's talking about, right? All the messages and videos I see are about how disappointing.
Oh, I got it.
Battlefield 6 is right now because they're not updating enough stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, 10 million copies, but it's a backlog game. They just threw it in the pile, and they'll get to it later. Right? 10 million copies were sold.
Right. They bought it full price, and they just said, "I'll play it later."
Play it later.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Call of Duty is starting to overtake Battlefield 6. Okay.
In what way? Like popularity?
More people are playing Call of Duty on.
I'm just throwing stuff.
That's what it is. It's weekly. It says Call of Duty is currently ranked as second most popular game on both PlayStation and Xbox consoles in the weekly U.S. player engagement. Where Battlefield 6,
there's the Christmas gift,
right? Whereas Battlefield 6 is on slightly decline across both platforms, going the same metric. Although this trend suggests that Battlefield 6 may be losing momentum faster than its main rival. The comparison of the complicated by the fact that multiple Call of Duty's titles contribute to the COD HQ, right? So I think they have a list here. Yeah. So here's the list of games that people are playing. Okay. So this is the top 10 games, total weekly active users. And this is from December 13th to the other week after. And then they've already posted the next one, which I don't have, but the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, Call of Duty has been ahead of Battlefield 6.
Yeah, but do you see what they use? It's like the most basic numbers. Like, it's ranked 1, it's ranked 2, but there's no numbers. You don't tell me the number of people.
Fortnite could have sold 10 copies and Call of Duty.
Right, you're not telling me the numbers. You're just telling me it's ranked number 1. Awesome.
So here you have it, right? So Fortnite's number 1, Call of Duty HQ, which is Warzone and Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, but more people are playing Call of Duty. Then the GTA 5 remaster, then Roadblocks, then NBA 2K26, then Marvel Rivals, then Battlefield 6, okay? And it went from 6 to 7, so it even dropped more. But yet, remember, Battlefield is still selling copies. They're selling more copies, but yet they're 7th on the list. Steam numbers are dropping, right? It makes no sense in any way, shape, or form.
It's all you're shouting into the void. You can't listen to any media anymore. It's all fluff nonsense, bro. Unless you see numbers that make sense and stop using numbers that you just cross-reference to make yourself feel better. To say you're ranked number 1 based on what? Only the games that we're speaking of? Like if I list 5 games and I tell you that this one's first and this one's 5th, right? But I'm only looking at these 5 games, right? But there's another list of games that people are playing right now. We're just not putting them in that list. We leave them out. So I put these 5 together and I said, well, this one's playing more than this one. Sure. But if I put it in the list of games that are currently out, you're so far down the list. You're number 1 here. But if I put you on all the games that people are playing right now, you're like 47th. So, yeah, you're ranked better. Congratulations. What are we talking about?
Yeah, they're getting real close to that 100 million number.
Yeah, this is why sales numbers is the end all be all. If you sell a game, great. If you don't sell a game and you tell me it's the most played, it's the highest ranked, it's the most amazing. Like, what are we talking about? It's like dating an advertisement executive, just fucking blowing smoke up your ass the entire time. How do I look? That dress looks fantastic. Like the dress does, but not the person. Like
right,
it's
the dress.
Right.
The dress looks fantastic.
Constant blowing smoke up your ass, bro. Constantly. It's ridiculous.
Altered says COD players didn't stay. That's true. The COD players moved from Battle, but they still paid for it. Look, I'm not saying that Battlefield 6
you bought it
didn't sell the 10 million copies. I just hard out press X for 20 million copies, an additional 10 when the number is going down. That's all I'm saying, right?
Well, think of the logic about that, bro. Right? Think of the logic. They count the 10 million copies, and then when Christmas time comes and they say, oh, between this time and Christmas, 10 million more copies. No, you already counted for those sales. They were wrapped and under the tree, and then they opened them and started playing. But that game was already bought 2 weeks ago. Right, that sales number has been recorded, not because the game was unwrapped and started playing, and you
bought it in November for Christmas.
Saw it online now that's another game. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I sell a game. It's now in the universe. It's not sold, and then because he activated the account, it's 2 sales. Like that does no, that's not how that works.
Dark Taco says most played on a Tuesday at 4 a.m. UTC time. There you go.
So much like if you actually believe this shit anymore, it's like as soon as I read an article at all, it's like, who is it? Metacritic? Nope. All right. Just give me the whiskey.
All right, so Call of Duty. Let's go to the next story, which is games. All right, you know what? Let's start off with this one first. Okay. We talked about it, I think. Oh no, I talked about it last week, the delay, but we didn't talk about this, right? So 007 First Light delayed till May of 2026, right? 3 months before March 2026.
So it's coming out right when GTA is. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, no, GTA is coming out in November, right? 3 months before March 27th.
Not right now, it's not. Right now, it's coming out when this game comes out.
No, right now, Grand Theft Auto already got moved. It already got delayed till November.
Again?
Yeah, we already talked. This is what you know Sarge is drinking. Yes, Sarge. We did this about a month ago when they came out and said they delayed it again.
I can't tell anymore what this delay.
Okay.
It's not delayed.
So they delayed this game from, it was supposed to come out in March, but now they're delaying it 2 months till May. Okay. Now, remember when I watched the video start? You probably don't. You don't remember that we talked about Grand Theft Auto. But when I watched this video and broke the actual gameplay down back in over the summer when they showed the game, right? Or September or whatever it was. And I went, something looks off about this game. It just doesn't seem right. It's like an arcade.
Hitman.
It seems like an arcade type of, well, no, it is. It's got from the guys that made Hitman, right? So it looked weird. It just looked like arcadey. It just didn't look right. Okay. All of a sudden, now they're delaying it 3 months. They're announcing 3 months before the game comes out on March 27th that they're delaying it. So now it's 5 months down the road. Okay. So the upcoming action Hitman Studio IO Interactive looks to be one of the biggest hits for next year with all-star cast, including singer Lenny Kravitz. Woo! Lenny Kravitz. You guys, this is why I'm buying the game, guys. I don't know about you. Big fan of Lenny Kravitz. I can't wait to see him. No, I don't give a shit. There's a lot of writing on the developer's ambitious project. There's so much writing on this, Sarge, that do you remember when the CEO of the company came out and said, here's 007, and they showed it, and then they went to the next game. They didn't even go into more detail. They just kind of like skipped over it and was like, yeah, 007, and we have more. And they went to Hitman instead. Okay. If they thought this was the big hit that it was supposed to be, they would have put a lot more time into this. Now, a couple weeks later, they did show the gameplay, and it did look rough. Okay. And a lot of people didn't like that the young protagonist of James Bond. But then here's the kicker in the nuts. Just a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, Sarge, the lead director of the actual game came out and said that this James Bond is for the modern audience. Okay. And then he backtracked 2 days later and said, no. It was misinterpreted.
Thank you, Cleveland. Good night.
Yes. It was misinterpreted. It wasn't modern audience like we're thinking modern audience. It was because
it's a different modern audience.
It's a different modern audience. He was just talking about modern day, not modern audience, right? But he used modern audience. And I would assume that you use modern audience because there's someone in the background that's constantly chapping in your ear saying modern audiences, the modern audiences, right? Because James Bond in the last James Bond film, anybody watch the last James Bond film? I didn't.
Won't do it.
I didn't watch it. Right. The last one I think I watched was Quantum Solace, and that wasn't even in theaters. Right. That's the desert one that was during the writer's strike back in 2007 or something like that.
Quantum Solace,
2013, something. But that's the last James Bond I watched. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying that James Bond, when you think of James Bond, Sarge, what's the first thing that pops in your head when you think James Bond?
Oh, well, since I've been groomed.
No, like what you know. No. What do you think about James Bond?
A womanizing bastard.
That's not what you think. You know that's not true.
Tendencies
are giving that's not true, Sarge. That's not what you think.
Kids. They're making all the kids chauvinistic. That's what I'm thinking about.
No, what do you
Sex,
think? You think
cars, guns, and drinking. That's what James Bond is. Right there.
That's not what the modern audience thinks, Sarge, because when they say James Bond, they think he's a womanizer. Right? He's a womanizer, and he beats women. Yeah. He beats women.
Yeah. Often.
Right?
Quite often.
I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Quite often. Every time you see a James Bond movie, you see him, he's just bitch slapping girls.
Yeah, he's always just running around, just punching women in the face.
Let me ask you a question. The girl that was a spy who pulled out a knife and tried to stab him in the face, and he hit her. Is that abuse? or
That's-
does
he's
that
just a
count
womanizer.
either? Right.
He's a
As soon as she becomes an attacker, like when the woman becomes an attacker with a weapon and he hits her, now it's abuse. Is that what we're doing?
Same as Black Widow. Black Widow, when she was in Marvel game or Marvel videos, movies, anyone attacking her, womanizer. Not that she's trying to kill them. Right? That's just that's how it works.
So you get to turn on the victim card anytime you want.
Anytime you want.
When you're a DEI hire and you're making movies, you just flick that switch anytime you want. We're making a movie about for guys, and you can't do that. Can't. Nope.
All right. So here's the official apology letter. The apology of we're delaying. Hello everyone.
Apology letter.
Well, no, it's not an apology letter. It's delaying. It's the apology because they're delaying it. Today, we're sharing an update regarding 007 First Light, and we've decided to move the game's release by 2 months. What do you think they're going to do in 2 months, Sarge?
Nothing.
Put more estrogen in it? Like what are they going to do?
Well, they're going to change a lot of the T-shirts to a more like a more motif color, like like a light blue instead of like a Royal Navy.
Changing the colors
because Royal Navy's too manly. You got to put like a pastel kind of color, like light, like a neon blue, turquoise, right? A mauve, right? Maybe like a little velour cranberry and some Indian brown.
These are big things that they need to change in the 2 months.
Because otherwise, it's not going to work out. 2 months. Tell me what you do in 2 months. You don't do a fucking thing in 2 months, bro.
You 2 months in gaming.
2 months in the gaming industry development cycle is absolutely nothing, bro.
Well, it says 007's The First Light is the most ambitious project to date, and the team has been fully focused on delivering an unforgettable James Bond experience, bringing together breathtaking action, globe-trotting, spy crafting, gadget, car chasing, and more. As an independent developer and publisher, the decision allows us to ensure the experience meets the level of quality you players deserve on day one. Now, I agree with that. The game should be done when it comes out. Right?
Deserve on day one, bro.
The game is progressing well and is fully playable from the beginning to end. So these additional 2 months will allow us to further polish and refine the experience, ensuring they deliver the strongest possible version at launch. We're confident that this sets 007's First Light up in long-term success, and we sincerely appreciate the patience and continued support we've received ever since we revived the game, and we look forward to sharing more updates regarding 007 First Light in early 2026. So there you go.
We're polishing.
Yeah.
We're polishing James Bond. Yep.
Don't look behind the curtain. Do not look behind the curtain. I remember when we watched the video, I was like, gunshots are not hitting. Like, they were shooting people, and the gun bullets weren't hitting them.
Do you understand when they say
explosions? They didn't even touch the barrel, and the explosions would happen like it was a set piece, like it was automatically timed to go off.
Do you understand when they say the term "it's playable from beginning to end"?
Yeah,
that's bare minimum, right? When you say
minimal viable product,
when you say that to somebody, hey, listen, the game is playable from beginning to end. But that's to me, that's not doesn't give me any vote of confidence. You mean it walks through basically, it barely makes it to the end?
Bare minimum, right? Krebsy says fully focused, but already talking about wanting to get back to Hitman with Bond not even shipped.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
I'm sure.
Best foot forward.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Hey, anybody else tired of anybody being hired for DEI? Let me rephrase it. Every single guy game that's ever been invented was made by guys for guys, and they made a giant business out of it for over 20 years. As soon as the fembots got involved and started taking over every space imaginable that we liked, everything's been dumbed down, girled up, just ridiculous amounts of nonsense in a game, and they want to know why they can't sell to men. They can't sell to boys. Why is that? You don't understand us. If you looked at the past sales of games that we liked and just copied that, you would be millionaires. Instead, you have to interject your femininity into everything that we have and destroy it. I can't wait till these guys get fired this year. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, here's another game that's being delayed that they showed off years and years ago. Okay. After originally being revealed in 2020, Arc 2 has been delayed again until 2028. Okay. Developer studio Wildcard is focusing on major 2027 expansion for Ark Survival Ascend first. Okay. The studio behind Ark Survival has announced a major delay for the game's sequel, saying it's still another 3 years away. What the fuck did you show in 2020?
Bro, I don't
This
even, I don't even
company-
look at this as a game, bro. I don't even look at this as a game. I really don't. I don't even.
This
I don't
company, I
care.
remember, wanted to give it for free. Then they said they were going to charge 40. Then they said they're charging 70. Then they said they're doing number 2. Then they did.
This is anytime
What is
you see this-
happening?
it's very simple. Anytime you see this happening to a game, right? This is called piss poor management. That's all this is. Nobody's driving the boat. It's just floating down the river, right? You can't have games in limbo for a fucking decade while you decide what to do. The last time I saw this much indecisiveness, it was at a bachelorette party. Okay, that's what this is. Like, you guys cannot make a decision. What's going on with the game? Date, time, done. It's out the door. Why is it in limbo for this long? Explain it to me.
I have right here. It says the game originally
Explain it to
been
me.
planned for 2023, released on April 23rd. Developer studio Wildcard announced that it had been pushing back to 2024 with a remaster of the first game called Ark Survival Ascend, instead coming in late 2023. Now its 2024 release window clearly come and gone. Studio Wildcard announced that Ark 2 will be released in 2028, 5 years after the original release window, 8 years after the Game Awards. Okay, here's what needs to happen. Are you ready, guys? You want an Ark 2?
Hire
Stop
a
playing.
leader.
No,
Hire a
stop playing.
leader.
Stop playing Ark 1. Okay? Because this is the problem with all these games, right? You're not going to get an Elder Scrolls because you're still playing Elder Scrolls Online. You're not going to get a Fallout because you're still playing Fallout 76. You're not going to get Ark 2 because you're still playing Ark 1 Remastered. Okay? You're not going to get any of these things that you want because you keep rewarding the studio the money to keep making the thing that you that's there now. Minimal viable product, okay? And they're never going to make the
limbo.
next thing. They're never going to make the next thing. They just keep adding stuff.
Analysis paralysis, bro. They keep wanting to add something else, and it just prolongs the game even further. Just let him rot, bro. I'm not giving anybody any more freebies this year. Either you're in and you made a game, or you didn't. It's time to let these people go. This is going to be a new year for me. I'm not buying
Every time a game comes out like this,
they gotta go.
every single time a game comes out like this, No Man's
Limps
Sky
in.
and Hello Games looks so much better. Yes, No Man's Sky came out and crashed and burned after it sold. They sold so many copies they never have to charge again from the original. Okay, they made so much money originally when the game was broke, buggy, and unfinished that they don't have to charge anymore going forward. And they just keep updating the game and keep making the game better and keep making the game better. Yet these guys show you a game, right? Elder Scrolls 6 years ago, they showed it off. Nothing.
Didn't show nothing off. They showed you a title
2020,
screen.
nothing. They showed nothing. All of these game companies show you it, promise you the world, say all these things. We got you. We're doing this. Aren't you guys excited? Yeah. And then 6 years later, it's that meme of the Titanic woman. I've been waiting 84 years. Like, you forget what's happening because these games come out and you're like, what game?
Yeah, we're on to the next thing.
Who? What?
You can't have an entire group of generations learning from TikTok with short attention spans and think you're gonna hold back a game for a decade and anyone's gonna remember who the fuck you are. Like, you show us and that's it. And you want a reminder? You gotta remind me every couple of years that you're still working on a game. I don't care anymore, right? There is a list of games to look at. If you don't show up on the list, I'm on to the next one. I don't even care.
Moving on.
I don't even care anymore. Like, there's too many of you.
Sarge, I didn't even have this. I didn't have this on the docket, right? But I want you. We're gonna watch this. Okay, this is a video that was it Eclipse or Altern? I forget. Pardon me if I forget who did. I think it was Eclipse. It was Eclipse. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. Okay, this is, this is it. Okay, this is a video. Okay, with Young Yeah. Okay, not a really big fan of Young Yeah for years now, but he's the only one that I saw talking about this. Okay.
No.
This is a dev insults fans after lying about using generative AI, ends in studio shutdown and game cancellation. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I thought that was a joke.
No. This is fantastic.
That
right?
was real. That's real. I thought that was a joke.
No, listen to this.
Where a game gets announced and then a day later it gets canceled.
Game gets announced. The day after it gets announced, it gets canceled, and the studio shuts down.
I'm referring to a game known as Postal Bullet Paradise, which is indeed a part of that Postal series, and it all basically ties to usage of AI that the community found unacceptable. Before we delve further into this topic, let's check out the trailer for Postal Bullet Paradise, where this whole situation began. Here's what that looks like.
We'll pass this, right? We're going to jump ahead because
AI before.
Okay.
Hard a spot. Now, before we delve into further details, you know what is a technology that society has actually benefited from? HDMI, which brings us to the sponsor of today's
that's a sponsor. Okay, here we go.
here is that it comes from a promotional art that was made to put on thumbnails for, like trailers for this game.
I remember this
That
game.
thumbnail looks like this. And you can see the full spectrum of characters here that very much, like, you can just tell they are AI generated. They all have what people are calling the generic AI scream facial expression that is just very easy to spot. And making matters worse is that the developers try to, like, absolve themselves of guilt by putting out the PSD file that, they claim highlights that it's not AI generated art, that this was made by real artists and was made from scratch. But what people noticed is basically the PSD file provided close-ups that further allow people to prove that this is indeed AI generated, with people saying things like the PSD file for the Postal Bullet Paradise promo art includes the original images that were used to make the AI vectorized final images, as well as some of the final shots have crappy AI versions under them. Plenty of posts on the day the trailer was released highlighting and questioning
Hold on.
whether AI was utilized, many suspecting that was the case. And going to Goonswarm Games' official Steam page, you can see right here that if you look at their games, even in their thumbnails, it's readily apparent that they do in fact use AI, and they did use AI in past releases. Like if you look at SCP Control Error here, this is very clearly AI art. I don't even have to be an expert to know. Like, you scroll through their games, through their artwork, through things that they've published, and it's very readily apparent that Gen AI is something that this studio heavily relies on. And not just even for concept art and for ideas exploration, just straight up, they ship games with Gen AI assets in them. And that's a big no-no, with Gen AI often being perceived, rightfully so, as essentially a giant plagiarism machine. Shipping final products with Gen AI assets in them usually gets...
Well, here's the best part, right? Sorry, we're not even there yet.
They're all going to use it.
But the guys, the developers that did it, and the people that saw it said you're using AI. But the publisher came out and attacked the people that said, hey, you're using AI. They're like, we're not fucking using it. They literally attacked the people. And then
the first thing you do.
A day later, they came out and said, oh, yeah, it was AI.
It's very easily spotted.
But
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter, bro. They're doing this because it's a hot button issue. They all use AI. All of them.
But the developers themselves denied that they were using it, but then came out and said, oh, we're sorry. They go on to apologize. Here, hold on a second. Right?
And we'll always be transparent with our community. Our trust in the development team is broken. So they're basically trying to say that we didn't realize that Goonswarm Games was using generative AI for this new Postal project. They truly believe that no Gen AI was used, but after looking further into it, it does look like Gen AI was used, and they're making the stance that this is not acceptable, that this has done a lot of damage, that their trust in Goonswarm Games has been broken, and have ultimately decided that they want to kill Goonswarm Games project, this
Not only did they kill it, but they closed the studio down.
New Postal game.
It's not because of the generative AI that you close the studio down. There's probably other reasons. That's just the hot button issue that they're going to focus on to make you believe that that's what it is. You think they spend all this time on a game, and then all of a sudden that's it because you're going to call out AI. Everyone knows you use AI. Everybody's using AI, but this is this line in the sand. A game from fucking 15 years ago that was kind of cool. You going crazy as a postal worker running around. I remember this game. I remember the first one, right? But you think that's the reason why they shut down? No, it's not.
Well,
right?
hold on.
I'm sure there's a list of other shit going on.
That was essentially seeing a shitstorm of feedback. I mean, going back to the trailer, you can see that the likes to dislikes ratio is extremely unfavorable, and people are making fun of how all this played out with, Postal Bullet Paradise being announced on December 3rd, 2025, and then the next day on December 4th, 2025, getting killed by the publisher. And
announced on the 3rd, killed on the 4th.
Yeah. So
you're telling me that the publisher was, oh, it's amazing. This is a
On
great
board,
game.
on board
Right.
the entire
We're
time.
totally in. We're totally
Yeah.
in. What?
Hot
No.
button issue. All right.
Fucking
hot button issue.
close the studio. We're done.
Right.
It's
Hot
like,
button issue happens
huh?
about the AI thing that they don't want to be part of the PR about it. So look, let me ask you a question. So what happened to the funding money that you had? Like it was already getting ready to come out. So all of a sudden you just don't want to publish it now.
this,
Right.
this,
So they got paid up until now. They just don't want to publish the game. Right. That's what we're talking about.
correct. No, they didn't beat Concord because the game never got to release. You see what I'm saying, Cubsy?
Yeah, the
Concord was
the
released
Concord-
and just,
yeah.
right.
You have
Concord
to
was
remember
released.
The Concord wins.
Yeah.
The Concord to beat Concord, you have to
You launch the game.
launch the game and shut down in less than 13 days.
Right, shuts down the game and then close the studio. This got closed down before the game launched.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a. If
Indeed, you can see right here that this trailer was in fact published on December 3rd, 2025, and that the statement from Running with Scissors came in on December 4th, 2025. So yeah, the cancellation of this game was incredibly swift. The rest of the statement concludes with, we have a lot of good things coming. Some of you know and some of you don't. Since forming Running with Scissors in 1996, we've always said that our fans are part of the team. Our priority is to always do right by the millions who support the
fans are
Postal
part of the
franchise.
team.
We're
The
grateful
fan
for the
art,
opportunity
the
to make
fan
the games
animations.
we want to play, and we'll continue to focus on our projects and
research.
updates coming in 2020.
Yeah.
all
26 and beyond. We can't wait to share more. Now, even if Running with Scissors did eventually take some responsibility, even if they eventually did decide to cancel the game and do something about the fact that Gen AI was used in their franchise, the way they handled this situation prior to the statement did not help.
This is the worst part of the situation, right? Because the fans were like, "Hey, there's generative AI being used here," and they're like, "No, there's fucking not." Right? Watch this. This is
lash out.
It did not ultimately help them redeem themselves because of the way they conducted themselves when the community relayed the criticisms and the feedback. So people, for example, are highlighting right here how, so when are y'all going to apologize or walk back your insults on your own fans for calling this shit out? Heads need to roll and fast. You can see right here, if we bring up this screenshot, you can see that representatives of Running with Scissors are responding to comments like, Running with Scissors really using AI for the new game, huh? With, you're an R word for believing we do. And then the response they got later was, you cannot tell me the thumbnail for the reveal trailer isn't AI generated. And then here we have a response from the co-owner of Running with Scissors, Mike Jarrett, who straight up insisted that it's literally not made with Gen AI. Sorry, guys, your wet dream is wrong. Dead fucking wrong. He insisted. And
so who's wrong? The guys running the company or the fans? Well, the fans were right, and you were fucking wrong. And you came out and you attacked the fans that were telling you that, hey, the game that you're backing is using generative AI, and the people are like, no, they're not. They're not fucking. You're retarded. You're retarded, and you think that's generative AI. They're like, yeah, it's generative AI. Oh, I'm sorry. We'd like to apologize. We'd like to apologize to.
Tell me when am I supposed to believe what anyone ever says now about a video game? Explain it to me. When do you think I'm supposed to believe what you tell me, or what you're trying to sell?
This is what I'm saying. This is the entire market now, right? Like
every single game is gonna be like this.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Every
we don't really
single
know
game.
much. So they basically backed down and apologized after the fact, even though they attacked the fan. I was just like, what is happening with this? Right? It's
I'm not
it's
kowtowing
amazing to me
I'm not kowtowing to any of these.
what the game industry is turning into.
These
right?
nonsense words I'm not doing.
Oh,
it.
Chad, if you can't see it, my son made us that sign right before. It says first show of 2026. He did it right before the show. He's like, oh, there you go. So yeah, but to me, it's just funny to me that that the devs, that's the first thing they do. It doesn't matter if it's people like this.
You lash out when they know you're right. That's when you lash out.
Well, look at what happened with when people were saying, hey, I'm not going to buy your game because Veilguard or whatever. And there was like, oh, you're racist, you're sexist, you're misogynistic. When they didn't want to buy Assassin's Creed Shadows, when they didn't want to buy any other game, they attack. This, they're just letting you know, hey, is this game using generative AI? No, it's not fucking using AI. You're retarded. It's like, but it is using generative AI. And then they don't apologize, by the way. In the video, they come up with an apology, but it's not really an apology. It's like a backhanded apology or whatever you want to call it.
That's correct, because if you apologize, you're owning up to guilt. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So if you don't give an apology and it's backhanded, then it's not really an apology. You see how this works.
It's absolutely insane what happens.
All right. It's going to be like this for everything. Up to
a certain point.
Until everyone just accepts the fact that it's all AI, it doesn't matter anymore, right?
Which I think we're about a year away. I think this year
is a transition year.
It's a transition. It'll condition people. By the end of this year,
look it up.
Every game company will be using AI in some way, shape, or form. If it's
for sure
small tasks or generative AI complete map making or whatever it is,
What I'm waiting
every game will be
for
using it.
What I'm waiting for is the apology that says we're no longer going to be using generative AI as a reason to remove rewards from people because everyone's using AI now, right?
Right.
They're
Well,
gonna
they're gonna make a new category.
right. They're gonna have to make a category. Yes.
Right. Best game that used AI. Right. That used it. Right.
Best game that didn't use AI. Right.
The next one that I want to talk about, Sarge, is a little weird because there's two stories that go along.
This is day one of the year. This is
day one. Well, yeah, this is the tail end of 2025 going into 2026, right?
I can't imagine what happens next week.
A couple of months ago, okay, Microsoft was reported by Jason Schreier, and I talked about this last week in my morning show, right? But we haven't talked about it. So Jason Schreier wrote an article about Microsoft saying that they are doing the 30% profit margin on top of that, right? Nobody else reported it, right? Just Jason Schreier came out. Everyone ran with it. Everyone said that Microsoft is doing it. Now Microsoft comes out a couple months afterwards and says Microsoft denies the report about increased profit margin goal at Xbox.
You cannot deny that far out. That far out.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying if they're lying or not lying. What I have a problem with is since Jason Schreier first announced this 30% margin, which at the time, people are like, Jason Schreier is a good reporter. He does investigative reporting. So if he says it, then it must be true, right? Which is fine. But since then, last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, Sarge, we talked about how Jason Schreier did a report with Larian Studios talking about generative AI or maybe we didn't talk about it actually. Maybe I talked about it in the morning show. He came out with an article with Sven from Larian Studios, as the head of Larian Studios, and he was talking about generative AI. And this is when Clair Obscur was getting shit on about using generative AI and whatnot. And they were giving shit because Sven said from Larian Studios that we're not using it like you're telling us that we're using it. We literally bought a concept art studio. But this portion of the article wasn't in the article. Jason Schreier left it out of the article because he was pushing a narrative. Right? Because AI topic is hot or whatever. So he didn't mention the part that he left out. But because Sven was getting so much shit on social media, he decided, I didn't know this was going to happen. So here's the full transcript of what happened when we interviewed. And I was like, bro, what are you doing as an media, being a journalist, you should be able to put that out originally. It's not like you have to keep it short, right? People subscribe to your outlet and whatnot.
But it sets a precedent. I can't trust Jason now.
Right. So now here we are. Right. So before he did that article, which now kind of gives less credibility to Jason Schreier, in my opinion.
That's
okay.
Correct.
He said that Microsoft was doing the profit margin goal at Xbox for 30%, which is higher than anybody else. They came out and said they deny doing the 30% margin.
But the denial is too far out.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But my point now is that I can't trust Jason Schreier because of what he did to Sven with Larian Studios. How do I know he's just not doing stuff like this?
Stuff up now?
Yes.
Here's how it works. Because once again, I'm going to use big words now. Here we go. Ready? Journalism. Yeah. Right. When you write an article, you have to actually fact check your sources. And then you have to call the people that you're doing the story on about those sources. And they have to tell you yes or no that those are correct. You don't just get to say what you want. If he had just said what he felt like saying and it was incorrect, Microsoft would have said it immediately. He's wrong. That's not what we're doing. Right. But he had to have called and said, this is the information I have. Is there credibility to this, to these facts or to these statements? And they have to say yes or no, because he's got to go on with the story. He's got to talk to an editor, bro. Do you understand how the pyramid works?
I don't think they do that anymore.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
You can't just make up a story and run with it, and then 3 months later have the company go, "Oh, what Jason said 3 months ago is a complete fabrication." What? Like, that's not how that works, man. It's just not how it works, right? The story is asked upon when it's asked upon. The facts come out then. You have to follow up then. The fact that you're going to say it's not, that's nonsense. It's nonsense. Now, maybe what they're saying is not all divisions want a 30% markup.
Correct.
That's what's incorrect. Like, they want a 30% markup, just not all sectors.
Yeah,
130%
Daniel,
markup.
you're
Now
absolutely
it's wrong.
correct. This is what Sarge is saying. It's been so long since he wrote that article that they didn't deny it right away. They just stayed quiet. They let it like run through the circuit. Okay, but now they come out right. This article was literally from last week, December 22nd, that they come out and they say they denied it. The original report here, Bloomberg report, that came out for Jason was October 23rd. So we're talking literally 2 months after he said that Microsoft's high profit goals for Xbox may be doing more harm than good, reported, right, by Jason Schreier. So it's like, if it was false, why didn't they say something ahead of time? But that's not my issue with the story. My issue with the story is now, because Jason Schreier did what he did for Sven, I can't really trust anything that he says or reports on.
Now you
because of what he did there. What's he not saying here? Now they come out and they deny it. Obviously, I don't trust them either, because 2 months later you're denying something that was written 2 months ago. It doesn't make sense to me. Why didn't you deny it before? Would they just get to it? Maybe there's not enough people and it wasn't really a big thing, but then other people started talking about it. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's start talking about it just in case, right? No, yeah, we're not doing the 30% margin, right?
That's nonsense. If you believe that, there's something wrong with you. You'll buy.
No, that's just it. No one confirmed it. This is my problem with journalism today. This is my problem when they give out numbers. This is my problem when Circana comes out with numbers, but the company doesn't say confirm the actual numbers. My problem with all journalism today is, look, and I'm not a journalist, right? We are not journalists. We are podcasters that talk about news stories and stuff like that and give you our thoughts and opinions on it, and we rant about it, okay? They are journalists. I didn't go to journalistic school. They did. Or at least you hope they did, okay? And they're not being journalists. They're just reporting shit, making it up, just like I said, right?
Right.
They're not supposed to give their opinions. They're supposed to report news. That's what they're supposed to do, and they're not doing it.
Right. Does it say above the article? Does it say editorial? Does it say editorial? Go back to the October thing. Does it say editorial? That he's just making it up?
This is from him. I can't go to Bloomberg's thing because it's subscription based. Here.
Right, it should say editorial somewhere on the article if it's just fucking he's just making shit up. But
yeah, so October 23rd, and then October 23rd, it's I see. I can't scroll or do anything with it because it's paywalled.
I'll find out. I'll look it up. I'll find out.
All right.
It just I don't like the dishonesty. If you want to be a credible journalist, you have to deal in facts. You have to deal in what the actual story is about. You cannot just say what you feel like it at the moment. Then the person you're writing about says nothing about the lie, and then 2 months later says that the article written by this journalist is now a lie. 2 months later, it's a lie. How bad is your backlog in your lawyer room over there inside your company? You can't figure out who's talking shit about you and when. What are we talking about? Right?
Dan says it's like you never watched CNN.
It would have been dismissed.
So are you okay with what CNN does? Are you okay with CNN that doesn't report fucking news? Are you okay with that, Dan? Because I'm not. It's not right because CNN does it. It's wrong that CNN does it. It's wrong that this person does it. It's wrong that any journalist does this when they hide stuff or pushes a narrative towards something. It's fucking wrong.
That's not
right.
This is why most of this year, anytime I hear an article about something, I'll be like, all right, I got my list here, bro. At this point, I'm looking for a 3-strike policy. Every time if I find a name that comes up 3 or more times, we're going to do an expose on them. We're going to look up their Facebook account.
Of course, it's nothing new.
We're going to see what they do.
But here's the thing. People start needing to help people accountable for what they're doing. If you're not a journalist, then don't be a journalist. Just report stuff and say, in my opinion, in this thing. Don't say, oh, yeah, I have a source inside the company, and this is what they told me, right? They won't tell the source because obviously they're going to get in trouble if they tell it.
You got to print your sources.
There's no second person talking about it. It's just one person writes an article, 10 other articles get picked up because this person wrote an article and they're writing the same stuff that he wrote about. They're not double checking him. They're not fact checking him. They're not doing anything.
No, because they used the source that he mentioned.
Correct.
Right. They don't confirm the actual.
There's no confirming. There's no sources.
Jason has a guy, and we're saying because Jason had a guy.
Trust me, bro. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I get to write the article.
Yeah. Trust me, bro. These numbers, this game sold. Trust me, bro. Nobody shares any info of what the sales numbers are anywhere. Okay. But yet these are the numbers. Trust me, bro. Where did you get those numbers? Where'd you get those numbers? Based on reviews. A percentage of reviews tells you the thing. Like, what is it?
Yeah, out of my ass.
Mr. Z says, don't worry, 30 has AI writers store news stories, and they also rant on the journalists who wrote it. Yeah.
But this is what I think is going to happen. All right. They're going to have AIs write the articles because they're not bound.
They do now.
They're not right. They're not bound by
They don't
journalistic
even
integrity.
double check their shit for spelling errors.
That's what I'm saying.
And
right?
spell checks built in.
So if AI writes the article, they don't have to follow by journalistic standards, and they can just write the article about it. Well, AI wrote it. You know, we just said, hey, can you write an article about this company? And the AI just said, sure, buddy. Right? He doesn't have to make a phone call if the sources were correct or nothing. You just get to say whatever the fuck you want. Like, what are we talking about, man? Right? How can we have any sense of actual clarity of what news is correct and what is not?
You don't.
Nobody has to check anything.
Yeah, you don't. You just say whatever you want, let it go around the internet, and then there's no consequences, there's no accountability, there's no nothing. It's just whatever. Yeah, spell check. What's that? Okay. Next thing, Sarge. Obviously, this is not really a news story because EA's company shareholders approved $55 billion sale. No shit.
Of course they would.
Of course, shareholders. Yes.
This is the most. This is what I. This is the tip top of idiocy. That's an article, right? The guys that hold the shares of the company approve making money. Great, congratulations! What a great story. Water is wet, sky is blue, the sun is hot. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Here's the best part, right? We watched the thing yesterday from GameSpot. GameSpot was talking about the year-end in review, and I watched the video and we were reacting to it, and they were talking about this EA deal like someone kicked their puppy and stole their child, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what's happening? Like, EA getting bought out by this group is just what. Is EA going to go down the toilet? Hello? EA is in the toilet. They make minimal viable products right now, right?
Wow,
they're like,
you guys
what's going to happen? Is Madden football going to be shittier than it is now? Like
everyone's excited to buy the slop. It's slop.
Yeah.
It's slop. Everyone's excited. And EA's about to be bought by a Saudi Arabian company, and they're like,
yeah, they're like, EA's done. It's over. And say that.
What'll happen to my slop?
They said, well, they won't have diversity in the games anymore. I go, what are they going to do? Take rid of all the black players in football? That's all football. Right? That's all of Madden football. We're going to remove the blacks from football? I mean, what do they think is going to happen? It's so ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know what they believe is going to happen. I think what they're trying to say is
guns and balls. That's what they do. They're like EA's guns and balls. They make money on guns and balls.
No,
oh wait, wheels. There's also wheels. Sorry.
No. It's almost comical that you believe that that's the reason why EA is going to be the downfall of EA is because somebody else decided to buy them up. Right.
There's
EA. The only reason why EA is still functional is because you're paying for the same bullshit every year,
and it's minimal viable product. It's so cheap. Yeah, it's so cheap to make the same thing over and over again. It's just an assembly line. They just keep going out. It's a roster update every year, and they charge full price.
But that's why they were bought, because it's reoccurring revenue that doesn't go away.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
You have to understand that when someone buys a company like this, they don't go, "Hey, look at these guys over here. They're selling stuff." Like, no, they look at their numbers for like 5, 8, 10 years. They want to know what the revenue is. And they go, well, these people keep buying the same garbage that EA makes every year. Maybe if we're looking to divest in some things, maybe we should invest in them. Let's invest in EA. They make $8 billion a year every year. And they don't, and hey, listen, they don't make anything new. They make $8 billion a year. They don't make anything new. That sounds like a gold mine if I'm an investor.
You'll remember this, Sarge, in Cannonball Run, when the Sheik, right, is talking about the money in
the Jamie Farr.
Yeah, but he talks about he's like $5 million. He's like he just says they just throw money.
Yeah, he says to him that I owe a lot of money to the gangsters. He's like, well, how much do you owe? No. He's stuttering because he's about to die.
James Dean is stuttering.
He goes, it's $9 million. He goes, $9 million. And then there's a pause, and he goes, I give you 18 million. That way you have some petty cash. Like, because to them it didn't matter.
That's basically it. Saudi Arabia was like, yeah, how much is it? 55? Yeah, great. We're gonna throw it. We don't care because
what do you think 55 what is it was it 55 billion for
55 billion. 55 billion.
What do you think 55 billion is to Saudi Arabia? I'm curious. You think that's do you think that hurts them a little bit? You think there's a hole in their pocket or their ass, it's your cheek over here? Like, oh, that hurt. Like in case EA doesn't make it.
They probably could have bought it for 25 to 30 billion. And Saudi Arabia was like, here's an additional 25 billion. We'll take it. Yeah,
with a B.
Yeah, 55 with a B. Yeah.
I got news for you, kids. $55 billion to Saudi Arabian company is not a goddamn thing. That's like you going out and buying pizza and some sodas for $50. Like that's what that is to them.
Well, their plan is to get away from oil as their major income by 2030.
They've been trying to get away from oil now for a decade.
No. But 2030 is their point. That's why they're investing in sports. This is why they're investing in video games. This is why they're investing in entertainment.
All
and stuff like
things that have reoccurring revenue.
Correct.
All things that have reoccurring revenue. Yes.
Because the real oil is us.
Yes.
Right. You got to keep pumping
Why do you think they got the wrestling? Wrestling's gone off the chain. Have you seen what happens to wrestling now? Wrestling's worldwide.
I haven't watched wrestling in years. Yeah.
Bro, if you thought wrestling was crazy back then, wrestling now is worldwide. It's worldwide guy drama. That's what it is. That's what wrestling is. A worldwide guy drama wrestling. That's what it is.
Well, Dave, I always talk about this, and I know you're newer in the channel, and maybe I don't know your actual name that you were here before, but I always talk about how any big industry, because right now everyone's always talking about console wars, Microsoft, Xbox versus Sony, and back in 2012, 2011, Sony was in trouble, and I said that Apple was going to buy them at one point, and Sony, which is the leader in consoles and stuff like that, could be gone just like that because Amazon or Google or Apple decides
if they care, they flex.
Right. They just buy up a company, right? Same with Microsoft, right? If they wanted to get rid of Xbox or whatever, someone could come in and just grab it and take it and do something else with it. It's that simple. Hence why Netflix, who everyone looked at as a joke when it first came out because they were just shipping DVDs to your house, and then all of a sudden they got digital, changed the complete landscape of rentals, put Blockbuster out of business, and then now they're up for bids for WB to hold the biggest licensing. Right? They wanted to buy Disney. They wanted to buy EA. Right? All of a sudden, the person with a lot of cash comes in and says, "Hey, I want to buy this," and they do, and then that's it. Right? So everyone thinks that everyone's like, "Oh, there's no way that this company will be bought." I actually said Activision Blizzard was going to be bought. I didn't know it was going to be Microsoft, but I said, oh yeah, they'll probably sell that. I said EA will probably sell, and here they are, right? They're selling off because there's always a bigger fish in the pond with a lot more money, and they're like, hey, you know what? I want to make more money, so they just throw money at it. That's it, right? Oh, here I'll make it a thing, right? EA, once they get bought out, they'll look at it, what's making money and what's not making money, and I guarantee you they won't sell off EA again. But what they'll do is they'll take franchises that are dead weight with EA, and they'll sell those off to other companies, right? Maybe Sony wants more IPs, maybe Microsoft wants more IPs, and they'll just sell them off.
They're worth more money in pieces than they are to the others.
Correct, right? Because at this point now, no matter what EA does, I don't think someone's going to pay $100 billion for EA. You know what I mean? For what it is.
Well, so you'd have to show other value than what.
Correct, but they would have to break it apart to kind of make more money, and then get rid of the junk, raise up the price and sell it for 60 billion or 75 billion. You know what I mean? So speaking of Netflix has required a game avatar maker Ready Player Me. Okay.
And so it begins.
So what this is, Sarge, is basically
so it begins.
Subscribers have an avatar that they can use across games. So the best way I can describe this is if you ever played on the Wii, right? You made a me. Okay. You made an MII where you made yourself avatar, whatever. You could play in the sports games. You could play in like Mario Kart or whatever. Not Mario Kart, but
the advanced version.
Mario Party or whatever like that, right? So you could use your character across different games and stuff like that. Netflix, now that they have their gaming company, which is mostly mobile stuff, they're making their first party titles like Stranger Things and whatnot, and video game, mobile phone type of stuff. But now they bought a company that you can make your own avatar, and that avatar can go across games in the future. So they just bought, or they're in the process of buying WB. So a year from now, they could have it in there underneath them. So now you could potentially make an avatar for one game in Netflix, and any game that they make, you could probably take that avatar and move it across. And that is a whole nother
level.
No other, not even, because now you're not even selling the game and then add-ons to the game. You're just selling avatar stuff that you're basically taking Sony Home. I don't know if you remember Sony Home, where you it was like a meta type of thing inside the thing.
Yeah.
But now you're selling that avatar, and then you can make your avatar. So think about Fortnite, how you can keep changing your skins, but now you're changing your skin, and you can use that skin not just across just Fortnite, any game mode, but now you can take your avatar and put it into any game that Netflix owns, right?
Correct. And that's the beginning of Ready Player One.
Right. So we'll see what happens with this. So here they show a bunch of stuff, right? And it says Netflix has acquired a startup, Ready Player Me, a company creating cross-game avatar tech that allows players to bring the digital personalities with them to different games. The company's CEO shared the LinkedIn post that acquisition is part of Netflix's new game strategy, which puts the emphasis on approachable multiplayer titles, adaptations of the streaming service IP. Ready Player Me teams around 20 employees, will incorporate into Netflix staff. It says only with the startup's 4 founders who will also continue after the acquisition. Neither company has shared when the avatar tech will be incorporated into Netflix games or if the games will be supported to feature. I don't think they will do any of this or incorporate it until the deal goes through once they get WB games and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's see, like Alter mentions, he's like, so in the future I can create an avatar and my avatar can be in the next Batman game. But what the corpos do is they don't care.
Potentially,
they don't care that Bruce Wayne is Batman. They care that the guy that you created is in the game and now you're Batman.
Right. You can be, your fantasy is you are Batman.
Right. You take the mask off and the avatar that you made is Batman. That's the character who's Batman. Like that's what they would do because the corpos don't care about continuity. They care about the fact that you're the character and I can sell you stuff to your character, right? That's the goal.
Well, here's the bad news, right? Because it says, besides designing an avatar system to be easy for developers to implement it into their games, Ready Player Me, big pitch for their system is using AI to automatically redesign avatars of different games, art styles, and automatically. So Netflix can never be nominated for any rewards.
Right.
Because they're using AI across the whole thing, right? Or at least in the indie game market. So,
but that's saying if I play Skyrim, my character looks like the Skyrim character. But if I'm playing Fortnite now, the same character, but it's got the art style of Fortnite. Like that's what they're saying. So whatever type of graphic detail that I'm put in, it uses the same avatar, but makes it into the art style of the game that I'm playing.
Well, if this works out like it did for Netflix when they were just mailing you DVDs, right?
Yep.
They're starting off with this avatar thing. And this is sort of like NFTs. Remember NFTs where everyone's like, oh, you buy this gun in the game and you could bring that to any Ubisoft game and stuff like that, right? This is different because you're customizing the character. And if Netflix buys WB, they get WB games, and they can take your character and put it into whatever games they are, and it works out. Think about this. Sony will jump on this. And any game that you play with Sony, you can make an avatar and sell that to that. Microsoft would jump on it. Any character that you make, you can go across their first-party title games and whatnot. So not only are you doing exclusives now, you're doing exclusives for the avatars for yourself to be implemented in the games that they're making. Could be interesting if it works out for Netflix with their games in the future. Who knows? It could be 3 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. But this is another avenue where you're not just buying a cosmetic skin for the character in the game. You're buying a cosmetic skin for you, for your avatar, for your thing that you're going across the game. Right. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the future with this. Let's see. This is another interesting thing because Nintendo. All right, Switch 2 Mario Kart World Bundle production ends. Nintendo says it's now available in limited quantities while supplies last. So, dun, 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 get out there. You got to pick up your Nintendo Switch 2 bundles because they're on the shelves right now and they want to move them. Because if you don't move them, it's going to be more expensive because they got to raise the prices when it comes out. So they want you to get this out. And they also know that they're losing money because people can just buy Mario Kart for $80 instead of the $50 with the bundle. Even though the game is worth $50, they're selling it for $80. Sell it, right? So Nintendo has signaled the end of production of the eye-catching Switch Mario 2 Kart World Bundle 6 months after the console launch. In April, when Nintendo confirmed the Switch 2 cost $449, the Mario Kart World cost $80, and announced the bundle that combined the two for $499, effectively making the launch title $30 cheaper than the standalone price. As you expected, the bundle proved popular option amongst early adopters, of course. And this is why when they say they sold 10 million copies or 20 million copies or whatever it is, they're also sold 20 million copies of Nintendo Mario Kart with it, right? Yeah. This is what they do with the Wii. Wii Sports is one of the best selling games of all time because it was bundled. So There you go. They're trying to move the shit because
They're just trying to get rid of them because they don't
Yeah.
want them hanging around because they want to be able to sell the game for $80.
well, that and they want to raise the price of the Switch as well.
Right, and you can't raise the price of the Switch when you have a combo.
When you have a combo of bundle,
right? You got to wait. You got to wait to get
Yes.
rid of them all. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how that works.
So, and we go to the next one. RAM prices increase could see next generation console release delayed.
No sweat off anyone's balls, bro.
Yeah,
No
nobody
sweat off
cares.
Nobody cares, right?
Right now, you're
you have
5 years in the
used,
cycle, and you haven't
right,
used what you had now.
Right, you haven't used the system that you have now to their capability, and now you're worried about like. I hope that all these chip things, I hope it causes a pinch in the market that's so devastating that they have no choice because no one wants to buy anything. They don't care. What the gaming industry fails to realize is that originally the birth and sustainability of the video game industry was done by a small population of people. It wasn't a lot of people. You might have had 200 or 300 million people who bought video games, but only a certain percentage was buying the games that kept them afloat to keep those studios running. You know what I'm saying? Like 200 million people didn't buy your game. Like maybe like 3 million people bought your game and they kept that game in the studio alive to make another game. If you decide that it's too expensive to buy a system, too expensive to upgrade your computer, too expensive for your subscription models, do you think for a moment the guys who actually play video games, you don't think we have other shit to do? You don't think I got a backlog of games? You don't think I got other shit I can do instead of gouging myself to spend $1,000 a year for the gaming things that you want me to buy? I'll play some old shit until the storm calms down. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if they can't sell shit and they can't get you to subscribe to all their bullshit, what happens? What happens? What happens to all the companies? Where do they go?
Well, make the problem solve a solution. Xbox and Nvidia have their asses covered because they have the cloud gaming, right? PlayStation has cloud gaming, but that's their main focus, so they would have to shift a little bit to the cloud. Okay, Nintendo would have to do the same thing because let's just say Nintendo raises the Switch price, the Switch 2 price to what, $600, $650, and then PlayStation 6 goes up to $800, and then Xbox next gen goes up to $1,000, whatever the hell it is. 55 to 60% of PlayStation owners that are on the PlayStation 4 still haven't switched over to PlayStation 5 yet. Okay, 30 million people on Xbox One still that didn't come on over from the first one. They still have an Xbox One. They haven't moved to Xbox Series S or X. Okay, they haven't moved over, right? So you think that now that you raise the price of PlayStation and Xbox and Switch,
That's what I'm saying.
$100 more, they'll be like, oh yeah, now I'm going to buy it. Now I'm going to buy the next system before the next system comes out because, right?
The people
It makes no sense.
The people that didn't buy the new PlayStation or new Xbox don't care. They have a box in their house that plays video games.
Correct.
They don't care. They don't
Even
care.
better, even better for the people on the Xbox One because you can just get Game Pass and play. Remember our buddy who played Starfield? He has an Xbox One, played Starfield through the cloud on his Xbox One.
On Xbox One.
Through the cloud. He's like, this is amazing, right? Because it was much better than because he wasn't really playing on the one. He was playing on the S or X, whatever it is now that they're doing from the servers, right? From the servers beaming to his Xbox One. Right, or someone's playing on a television set, or someone's playing on the mobile phone, or someone's playing on, it's mind-boggling to me because you're going to hear the articles that, oh, well, sales are down for PlayStation 6 and Xbox Next, whatever the fuck they're called, because no one's buying. Obviously, you're going to get the adopters, the keeping up with the Joneses.
The guys who have the money to buy it, they're going to buy it.
Which would be a small percentage, and then nobody else is going to buy this thing, and it's going to be the worst console market in the world, ever. Right? 2008 is the best market in the world with 273 million people that bought one of those consoles, the Wii, PlayStation 3, or Xbox 360, right? But it's never gone above that. It's less than 250 million people on all consoles combined, Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. It's never gone above 250 million units sold across the board for that generation, except for one time in 2008 with the Wii, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, okay? And that's 80 million apiece for Xbox 360 and PlayStation, right? And 155 million for the Wii, right? It's like insane, or whatever it was, 115, 120 million. So they're never going to do it again. I don't want to say never, but highly unlikely,
Not
especially when you're given a $1,000 console. Yeah.
Yeah, not in this environment. Yeah, but everyone's
Accessories
broke.
are more expensive.
Everyone's
consoles are
broke.
more expensive. Gaming's more
Like,
expensive.
The facts are people are broke, right? But if your limited brokenness can still afford a gaming system after they announce all these price hikes, then those were the same people that had the money to begin with. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about the mass market. If you can't have people move systems, do you think that they're going to stop playing what they have now for free in order to give you money every month to play the game that they have? What are you talking about? The guys who are playing on PlayStation 4 have the games that they want. They get it from they have the PS Now or the Game Pass, and they just play the games that are on there. What do you think they have to buy? What is it you think you're selling, right? They have to have everyone buy a subscription. Everyone. But why would I pay Microsoft or PlayStation a monthly fee to play on when I have a PC and I don't have to pay for anything? I just buy the fucking games on PC and play them, right? That's why the Steam Deck or the Gabe Deck or whatever you guys want to call it is like the price of that thing is going to decide whether it's going to be a disruptor or not. When the price of that thing comes out, you'll know right away what the hell's going to happen, right? And by the way, right, Gabe, and I know that people give a lot of shit to Gabe, but he's the only one maintaining the balance of this catastrophe that's going on right now, right? Because if he wasn't
because they're in the position that they're in.
Yeah. Because if he wasn't there, you guys wouldn't be able to play a goddamn thing without paying them money. Even stuff you already own, you would have to pay them money to actually play it because that's the kind of control they want. A game that's 8 years old, sitting on your shelf right now, if you put it into a box and you want to play it online, you're going to have to give them $5 a month, right? Look at all the stuff that's happening. They want to charge you after 100 hours. What the last thing I saw, you only have 100 hours a month, and after that, they have to charge you more because you're using too much data. What are we talking about?
NVIDIA's doing that to get ready for the surge that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because if they kept it open like it was,
because everyone has to play through them because you can't play anywhere else.
They're changing. So Waterbear's asking, you guys think Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo are in cahoots with the chip devs? 30, I think that so they could push cloud based. Listen to me. You could take what I say and believe me or not. Okay, I'm not Jason Schreier, but 6 years ago when I said that Microsoft Game Pass is the future of Microsoft, and I talked about how they're going to have a little dongle or a little box, okay, and you're going to plug it into the television and you're going to be able to play. This is before they even mentioned that they were going to have dongles and things and TV deals and stuff like that. I said they always make the problem, sell the solution. Make the problem, sell the solution. It takes
this is a huge problem. I know.
It takes 4 to 5 years or 3 to 5 years to convert people over to make things
normalize.
Right, to normalize it. Okay, so remember, digital game has been around for a decade.
A while.
Okay, but the first 3 years, it didn't really move the needle very much. It was 80-20. But then there's that 1 year, and they projected it would take longer, but then it swapped in 1 year. It went from 70 to 30 or 80 to 20 or whatever it was. It was digital 30, okay. Yeah. Make the problem, sell the solution, right? When they came out in 2020 with the consoles, I said that Microsoft and PlayStation will sell a diskless version of their systems, and those will be in stock. The ones that are not in stock are the disc ones because they don't want you to get physical media to put in the thing. And lo and behold, when the COVID was around, the only thing you could get PlayStation 5's diskless version. There was disc versions, but they were very short in stock. If you wanted one, you had to get the diskless version. If you wanted an Xbox, you had to get the Series S, okay? And make the problem, sell the solution, because once you have the diskless version in your house, you are stuck on the ecosystem, which makes it so much harder to leave that ecosystem, because if you bought a PlayStation diskless version or if you bought an Xbox Series S diskless version and you bought the games and you started buying the stuff, you're stuck on that. If you have a computer, you're playing on Steam. You can't go anywhere else.
You've been playing on Steam.
You've been playing on Steam for 20 years, okay? So this is 100%. They're in cahoots with the business because I told you, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo are not competitors. To you, they are, right? To the people with the shirts, rah, rah, console wars, they are in the same industry. They tell you what you're playing. They tell you what you're buying. You think you know what you're buying. You think you have control of what you're buying, but you want to buy physical media? Sorry. Target doesn't have your copies anymore, but they do have the cards. You can go buy the cards, right? Sorry, that console's out of stock, but we do have the diskless version one. Oh, prices are raising. Oh, I'm not paying $30 for Game Pass. Oh, consoles are $800. Oh man, right?
$30 looks pretty good.
$30 seems a lot better than $80. It's I didn't predict what I predicted 6-7 years ago because I didn't think like this. Of course, make the problem solve a solution.
I mean, but it's going to happen more rapid now because everything about the whole chip shortage, and I forget who it was. What leader was it? The leader of Microsoft, or that said that he's holding the chips in reserve because they're waiting for the AI thing to take off. He said it out loud actually at the interview. Do you remember that? It was like a while. He basically said that they bought up all the chips and they're just holding on to them.
Yeah, Nadella came out and said, "Yeah, we have all the chips. They're in a warehouse."
Right.
You're like, "Well, can we buy some?" No.
We need them.
Yeah, we need them.
Yeah.
Right? They're waiting.
And don't forget, like right now, the battle is their salespeople are begging Chinese companies to fill their orders for this coming year. They're all battling, trying to get their orders filled because there's not going to be enough chips. I'm like, what are we talking about here, guys? Right? Seriously? I don't even think.
Well, of course, Eric. Of course, but make the problem solve a solution, right? Buy the diskless version. Oh, and by the way, we'll charge you $80 for a disk drive for your PlayStation, right? I don't blame you for buying that, but isn't it a little fucking weird that it's not in stock, but they'll sell it to you separately for $80, even though the price is like $30 for a disk drive?
Right. This is gonna be an interesting year, bro. This is gonna be an interesting year. Because either the AI bubble is going to burst because they can't hang on long enough for the ecosystem to develop, because you still need the power grid to power what it is that they want. We don't have the power grid to power all these data centers. Listen, if you pay attention to what's being built right now as far as power centers or
takes 6 years to build them,
data centers are, if you've been paying attention, look up the articles about data centers and where they're being built. Then look up where they're building power stations. I haven't heard a lot of discussions about these power plants opening up. I'm still looking for the nuclear power plants that have to open in order for them to power this shit. Right? They don't have them. They don't.
Krebsy says all these prices are increasing due to AI, like the increase of crypto boom, the NFT boom. Eventually, the AI boom will pop and the market will settle back down. I thought it was the tariffs, though, Krebsy. I thought it was the tariffs that why everything was going up in price. Right? The tariffs. And I'm not making fun of you in any way, shape, or form. I remember everyone's just parroting, "Oh, it's Trump's tariffs. This is why the prices are going up." It's like, then why is Brazil going up in price? Is Trump the president of Brazil? Why is Australia and Canada going up in price? Is it because Trump is the president over there too? It makes no fucking sense. People just say shit to say shit. Of course, America's prices are going up, right? But guess what? They're going up because of the AI. They're going up because they're raising the prices of the things inside the actual machines.
If you actually passed economics, Econ 101, you would understand what's going on. You wouldn't be in a panic mode. You'd be like, all right, they're just trying to manipulate. They're manipulating prices again, because you put us in a position where you want the product. You've been milked on the product now for 8-10 years, and then they're going to take the product away, and you go, wait, where are you going to go with the product? Oh no, don't worry, we're not taking it away from you. You just need to drink out of this cup if you want.
Yep.
It. Right?
Special cup. It's a special cup.
We're still going to give it to you, but you have to drink out of this cup in order to get it, instead of just getting it from the ground. That's all. It's the same. You'll be fine, water. It's the same. It's the same. You're going to have the same stuff. I don't know what you're crying about. It's going to be the same.
All right, there's one more story we're going to talk about. Well, actually, two. We have to talk about the box office a little bit here. We're also going to talk about the worst.
Which box office? The one that
movie box office.
The one that talks about the actual sales of movies, or the ones that are like,
real quick, I want to go over the top 10 worst games by Metacritic in 2025. First, we have at number 10, we have Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Right?
They charge you $10 for this.
$10 for the tutorial of a thing.
Instruction manual. No, it's an
instruction manual. Right. It's 54 out of 100 and user score 3.4 out of 10. Okay. Number 9, Rensport. Okay. That's 53 out of 100 and user score of 3.2 out of 10.
I remember a lot about that one, though.
Bubsy, the perfect collection. 53 out of 100 and 8.6 out of 10. 8.6 out of 10 for users. What's going on there?
That's a good game. What are you talking about?
These are the top 10 worst by Metacritic. 53. They're by the Metascore, not by user score. So Hunter, is it Nen Impact? Is a 53, user score 3.5 out of 10. Neptune Riders versus Doggos. Okay, we got a 51. User score 5.3.
These are the 10 games out of the 10,000.
Yeah. Number 5 is Captain Blood. Captain Blood got a 50. User score is 5.3. So we're getting lower. We're below the Mendoza line now. We're past 50. Okay. Scar Lead Salvation. Or is that Sacred? No, Scar Lead.
Is her breast framed right there?
They look like they're framed. Yeah. But the breast didn't do enough for it, Sarge. 44. A Metascore of 44.
Well, that just goes to show you that breasts aren't everything in a game.
Right? Ambulance Life, a paramedic simulator.
How was that a bad game? I thought that was a good game.
Metascore 44.
Wait, Chet, didn't you guys say it was a good game? And why is she wearing a 3-year-old bra? Like that goes for like a little girl. That's like a little girl bra. Why is she wearing a little girl bra? Is that why the scoring's bad?
Number 2, Tamagotchi Plaza, 43. We got a 43. And the number 1 game, Travis's game of the year, Mind's Eye.
Nice job, Trev. Nice job.
37 Metacritic. Holy Christ.
Like I think what a great justice though. She's got green hair.
Dear Lord.
Green hair. Is that a dude or is that a girl? I can't tell.
I couldn't tell if that was her hair or his face, like tattoo.
Like his tongue sticking out. Yeah.
There you go. It did win something. It won worst game. Metacritic 37. Think about this, Sarge. You work on a game 5 years, 6 years, and you got a 37.
Not everybody's
what
a winner.
What the fuck were you doing this entire time? You're like, we're gonna make a game, and this game's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, but I don't.
37.
I don't get mad at the fact that someone got a 37 out of 100. Right?
Oh no, I'm not mad about it.
Just like anything else, the cream rises to the top. You're with it. Listen, the combination of people that needs to be working together with a good leader that can get things done on time, who is talented and they can work off of each other is a complicated issue. You just can't say, I want to start a game company, hire 37 people, and you're going to win. Like, that's not how this works, right? The gears of the machine are finely tuned. You have to have the right people, the right group, the right talent, the right leadership, the right amount of money, right? The right location. Everything matters, right? If you're in the wrong state that's too expensive to run things, then you might not make it, right? Even guys who make games by themselves tell you that how hard it actually is. The one I always look back on are the guys that did Cuphead, right? I'm surprised that the follow-up story is I got a divorce, right? Because you can't tell me that two guys got a second mortgage on their house to make a video game and their wife said, go for it, okay? I got news for you. If the husband's getting a second mortgage for the house, the wife isn't going, go for it, honey, good job. That's not part of the fucking conversation. Right? It's fucking difficult.
Yeah,
so
you
when
better
someone
not,
gets to 30,
your wife walks up to you and says, you better not fuck this up. Yeah.
Somebody has to suck. Right? There's 19,000 games, bro. You think they're all winners? Like, what does everyone think happens here in the real world? Just like any other job market, there's a bunch of losers and a few winners. That's life. That's how it works.
Unless, Sarge, you open up a daycare, and then everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner with a daycare.
If you want to make some money, bro, sell everything in your house and move to Minnesota, open up a daycare center, bro.
You don't even have to move out of your house. You could be in a house. You could be in a house and still have a daycare.
You probably could just start a business from here, open it up there, and still make
maybe. Yeah, maybe. All right, we're gonna go to the box office, and then we're gonna go to Q&A. Okay. Real quick, I saw Zootopia last night or yesterday afternoon. Good movie. It was a good movie. I didn't know that Zootopia 1 came out like 10 years ago. It came out in like 2016, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, right? Zootopia, okay, it's been out for 36 days in the theater, okay? Still pulling in over 4 million, 4.6 million, okay? And right now it's at $1.468 billion. Now, I don't know if you know this, Sarge.
Awesome.
This is the #1 movie animated ever for Disney.
And nobody's talking about it.
Ever. It beat Frozen. It beat Toy Story. It beat all the movies. This is the #1 animated film. And You wouldn't think that Zootopia 2, a sequel, by the way.
Well, do you
would
think
be-
that Disney finally stopped sweating?
No, and we'll go with that in a second because the next thing I want to talk about is Avatar. Okay, so Avatar: Fire and Ash. Okay, Avatar: Fire and Ash is out. It's been out for 2 weeks. I said it would do 1.8 billion. Is what I said it would do. Okay, but a lot has changed with Avatar because if you remember correctly, after Avatar 2 came out in 2022, they were talking about every Avatar every 2 years. It was going to be 2022, 2024, 2026, 2028. Okay. Well, 2022 came out. That movie made $2.3 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Avatar. Yeah. It made $2.3 billion. Okay. $2.3 billion. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying that this one's not doing good at the box office, and it is making $859 billion because it's doing very well overseas, okay, in China and stuff like that. But all Avatar movies, just to remind everyone, started off slow. So we have Avatar 1 at the box office when it first came out, okay? When it first came out, I got to scroll all the way up here, sorry. All right. Original Avatar, it made $2.7 billion, but in opening weekend, it only made $77 million. I say only, right? Remember now, this is back in 2009, okay? 2009. So if you put inflation to this, it's much better than what the current movie is now, right? Avatar: Fire and Ash has made $89 million, okay? And to put that in perspective of the second movie made $134 million on opening weekend, okay? So this one is not as bad as the original movie, but without inflation, of course, okay? And it started off slow. But the big deal is the original Avatar, I had to pull this up, the original Avatar in 2009 was around $237 million, meaning around 500, 550 to break even. It made $2.8 billion, $2.7 billion. So it made a shit ton of money. But then they didn't make the next one until 2022, which is a long time in between Avatar 1 and Avatar 2. Okay. And they had to talk him into it, and then he was going to make a whole bunch of movies, and he made 2 and 3 around the same time. Okay. Well, the budget for number 2 was $350 million, and the budget for number 4 was $400 million. So this movie, Fire and Ash, is a $400+ million movie, meaning it has to make $800 million to just to break even, right? Which
so right now
it's in the break even. It's in the spot of breaking even. Okay, but it's obviously not going to make the 2 billion mark. It doesn't seem like it would be, right? I said still 1.8,
1.5, maybe.
James Cameron was supposed to make 2, 3, 4, 5, all within by 2028, 2030. It was supposed to be all done. Disney right now doesn't even know if they're making number 4, okay? Because it's at this number right now, okay? Think about this, because remember, Avatar doesn't need to make their money back. They need to make more money back because of all the fucking bombs they had earlier this year with all the other movies that didn't make any money. Like, they lost big time. Zootopia is taking the strain off of that because it's 1.5 billion and it only didn't cost anywhere near that to make. So it's super profitable for Zootopia. But Avatar right now is, remember, everyone's like, oh, everyone loves Avatar. They've always started off slow again and build up, right? So remember, Avatar 1 was in the theaters for 6 months. Okay. No,
like
longer than that.
It's like a
right? It went up to August. Okay. August. So it was out for 8 months. 8 months. Avatar 2, okay, was in theaters from December to May. So 6 months. Okay. So 8 months, 6 months. I don't think Avatar stays in theaters longer than 4 months here. Okay. So they got to make their money fast, and they got to make it as much money as the second one did in the amount of time that they have. I don't know, man. I don't know if they can do it. So I still think they make 1.8. Avatar is profitable, obviously, but because Avatar is not doing so well, James Cameron is like, I don't even know if we're making 4 and 5 because he might make them into just books. Anybody in chat, have you seen the third Avatar? I like Avatar 1. I liked Avatar 2. I'll probably wait to see this when it comes out on streaming service or whatnot. So what do you think, Sarge? Do you think Avatar, obviously it makes money, but do you think it makes enough money to save Disney's ass for all the bombs, for Thunderbolts and A Brave New World and Freaky Friday and all these other movies that come.
Well, I can't predict because when they want to pull it out of the theater. You know what I mean? Like I think maybe 1.2 before it's done. I think in the theater, I would think 1.2. They're close.
Well, right now, domestically, it's that's the wrong one. Fire and Ash. Domestically, right now, it's making 8 million. Wednesday from last Wednesday, it's 10. Saturday, Sunday, yeah, it's still going to be in the 15 million mark range this weekend, like 15, 14.
I think 1.2. I would think 1.2. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to be like the first movie, but it's still going to do well.
Do you think it's enough to make up for all the shit that they bombed on this year?
I mean, it depends. It depends if you're the accountant for Disney. It depends on what you're looking at. Are you looking at the movie needs to make money for itself and its sequel, or do you look at all the movies together, subtracting all the losses? And if you have enough,
that's what you do at the end of the year. You look at because for instance, I always say this example: if you have 10 movies a year, one's going to make super money. 2 are going to make maybe break even, and the other 7 are going to lose money for you, right? So you're hoping that one movie, and Avatar, I think, was supposed to be that movie. So Zootopia is the most important movie for them this year, right? Because Zootopia is making bank, and I don't think they knew that Zootopia was going to make that much money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like knowing the kind of leadership that they have, they're looking for any way to get more financing for another movie. If you're only focusing on Avatar itself, if Avatar has to do well to make another Avatar movie, then no, they're not going to make it. But if they have enough money based on the other movies that did well, like Zootopia, and they say we could use some of this money to make another Avatar movie because Avatar did well, it just didn't do super well. But they might be going for bank and that's it, right? If you're going to do okay money, they might not even spend the money on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because James Cameron says it has to make a certain amount of money. I don't know what that money is if they're going to make the next one. Right?
Well,
it might need to make 1.8 just to say, okay, yeah, we'll like the next one.
Right, because they look at the fall off. They look at the fall off from the first one to the second one, and they say if it needs to make this much money in order to continue on for the next one. Because they have
2.8, 2.3 billion, and now again this will
maybe
make 1.8.
And so they think if the costs are going up, you see the costs are going up and the sales are go lower. So there's probably some kind of break even point that they don't want to do.
You also have to remember the money they're making right now, even with that 859 million, that's still double or half of what people originally saw the first Avatar.
Yeah. Half
the people are going to the movies now than they did before. Real quick, and then we're gonna do Q&A. Water Bear with the do I have the sound bites? I don't think I have the sound bite. Let me see. Do we have the cheering? Parachute, stop, no. I don't have the sound bite, I think. Oh wait, we do have one. Here you go. There you go. We have the applause. Okay. For $50 super chat, he says, I haven't done this in a minute. Here's to upgrading your rig before prices go up to 500%. Might be too late. I think it is. It might be a little too late, but it's okay. We're taking all the money and we're still saving it for the super chats. So if the Steam Machine comes out and it's a good price, I'm going to take that money instead of putting it towards a PC. I might buy the Steam Machine instead, but we'll see what happens. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for the support. All right, let's go to what's going on, Cybersword. Let's go to a Q&A. If you guys have a question you would like to ask, you can put a Q in front of it, and then we'll mark it, and then we'll answer your Q&A in the questions and stuff. What's the last movie you saw, Sarge? What's the last movie you saw in theaters? You see? Remember what you saw?
I haven't watched anything in the theater.
Did you see that the number one movie this year that everyone voted on, the internet voted on? What movie do you think they said was the best movie of 2025?
The best movie?
Best movie.
I don't know, bro. Honestly, there was a lot of garbage the whole year. So,
okay. So what's the best of the garbage movies?
If the internet was talking, could be any. It's got to be an animated movie. I'm sure.
Nope. It's Superman.
Get the fuck out of here. That's like the 10,000 guys voting like 17 times a piece.
I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it. Hated Superman. Did you see the Superman Girl trailer? That even looked terrible as well.
You mean the Supergirl trailer?
The Supergirl trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the Q&A is there. Let's we'll let the carry in.
I'm really concerned. I want to know how much money they have to float in order to stop themselves from doing something drastic. Like, I know the gaming industry makes a lot of money. They play victim. They play the victim card a lot, but they have to have enough money to float themselves. Because if you're not selling consoles and nobody gives a shit about your subscription services because they got a backlog and they got games they can play without you, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be able to squeeze people for that much money over the next 2 years in order to make up for the games that you're gonna try to sell to people,
Right.
Right. And if you're not using the console to its fullest, and you're trying, and they don't sell another console, to them that's a win, right? Because they don't have to make another console, right?
Right.
All they're going to try to do is just raise subscription prices, right? And if you have to have a subscription in order to play your games, then you have no way out, right? That's the goal here.
Correct. And the more you pay, the more you're stuck, right?
Right. So I'm eager to see what happens for this year. Like, what direction they go in, because we know that at this price point for chips, you're not getting another console. And it doesn't really matter because you're not using it.
I thought about this for a second. I was like, if my Xbox breaks, right? Let me knock on some wood. All right. If my Xbox breaks, do I get it fixed, or do I just don't care and just move on? I think I just don't care and move on. Right? Because I can play the games on my television set, or I can play it on my, mobile phone or in my headset. Well,
let's just do the basics, right? Like,
I'm not going out and paying $800 for the same box I already own.
No. What I'm saying is this: they already do this for PCs, right? They already do this. You pick out the PC, you put what you want in it, right? You pay $200 or $300 down, and you pay $50 a month or $60 a month until your PC's paid off. It's like financing a fucking car,
sure,
right?
Which you could do with consoles anyway, right? You could do that with the consoles.
And you can do a console, but what would be the point? You can't upgrade your console. You just have a console. I would not finance a console. What I'm saying though is, if you get people in a position, like if the Steam box comes out and it comes out at a decent price, but at the same time, I know chat said it before, and I know you said it before. Let's say it's $1,200, right? Let's say the Steam box
systems. The Steam box. Okay.
Yeah. Let's say that's it's in that price. Everyone talks about being in that kind of price range. If the Steam box comes out for $1,200, or I pick out the one I want and I'm paying $50 a month for the machine that I want to pay for it, maybe it's a $2,000 machine, and then look, now I'm not saying you're paying $50 a month. Let's say you have a better month than you don't have you throw some more money.
Whatever,
in it, right? Which would you rather do? Like, wouldn't you rather just, you know what I'm saying? Like, the lower end people with the less money would just get the Steam box for $1,200 because it's a good price to them. But the people that know that, well, why would I spend $1,200 on this? If I have the $1,200, I'll just put it towards half towards half of the fucking machine
more
that
towards
I want,
the actual computer,
and
right?
just pay monthly, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, this is going to be a funny year, bro. Seriously, like, what's going to happen here with hardware? And we're not talking about hardware just for game systems. Chips are in everything. Manufacturing, medical, all X-ray machines, MRI machines, automotive manufacturing. Everything takes these chips, bro. It's not like gaming's in trouble. It's like everything's in trouble. It's not just games.
Right.
Right? So it can't be one of this thing where the NVIDIA and the rest of these monsters are hoarding chips and just waiting it out. There are other companies who are like, hey, dude, we gotta make some.
Right. We need some of the. Like, sorry, I gotta ask ChatGPT first. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we got shit to make.
All right, we got a couple questions. You can keep adding questions for the Q&A. This is our first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is our first Q&A of 2026. Go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, I'll turn. In every group of people, there are one or two really good leaders. The rest of followers and other people are just lazy and just workers, right? You get rid of Vince Zampella, I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure there's an actual person to replace him currently in the company.
Sarge's already answering questions. All right, give me a second. Here's the tag.
Like they don't grow on trees. Good leadership and people and talented people aren't just everywhere. It's gonna be tough.
Right. First question says, Altern, since 2025 is over, what game would you say you played the most in 2025? Doesn't matter if it's a new game or old. The most game that I played, that at least the recap told me, was Marvel Rivals. Most game I played was Marvel Rivals.
It's probably gonna be a tie between Total War 3 and Minecraft. I played a shit ton of Total War 3.
I played a lot of. I feel like I played a lot of Avowed, but Avowed I played like 58 hours, 60 hours. Outlaws I played 52 hours.
Warhammer 3. Sorry, Total War Warhammer 3.
Rivals was like 167 hours. I think I played Rivals last year. Question number 2. Altern says, if Sarge is in pajamas or did he comes from celebrating on a motel? Giggity giggity. He's wearing a button-down shirt. That's not
That's not pajamas.
It's not a pajama.
I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing pants.
He's not Ebenezer Scrooge. He's not wearing like one of those outfits for pajamas. That's a dress shirt.
Yeah. He thinks I buy the pajamas that look like a dress shirt, though.
Yeah, it looks like. I guess I could see looking at like it could be a pajama top type of thing where you button down. Yeah. He's wearing like bunny slippers. I don't know. Maybe. Next question is, when do you think we get the Steam Machine price announcement? I'm gonna say, do you want actual month or do you want date?
End
Month
of
or
the
date?
end of the financial quarter, at the end of the yearly financial quarter, which is March.
Yeah, I'm going to say March.
Yeah.
I'm going to say March. I want to say like first thing that popped in my head, March 17th. I don't know what day it falls on. Let me see. March. Oh yeah, March 17th. I'm booking it. March 17th is when we're going to see it. March 17th is a Tuesday.
Is it the Game Awards? The Game Awards come out?
Nope. It's just a Tuesday in spring. So I'm going to say it's the second start of spring, right? End of the quarters at the end of the month. They gotta announce it before the end of March because that's when the cutoff period is, right? So I'm gonna say March 17th. I don't know why, but that's what popped in my head.
Yeah, end of the financial quarter. Well, for the year, because the financial quarter is different than the actual year. It's off by a little bit.
Yeah. All right, the next question. Now that Vince Zampella passed away, what's going to happen with Battlefield now? It's sad that he. It's also weird. I spoke about this in Discord. I was like, it's a little weird where he was and people were videotaping and stuff like that, and he was speeding and he did it to him.
They're just being stupid.
It's a bad situation. Anyway, this is like signing a franchise quarterback, right? For your football team or your all-star pitcher, and this is the person that's supposed to bring you to the promised land of World Series or a Super Bowl.
And then he breaks his leg.
Right, breaks his leg, and he's never the same. This man was that. He was the Tom Brady of first-person shooters. Right, he just whatever he touched, he made. Was if it was for honor, not for honor. The other war game, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty. Right now, Battlefield, Respawn, what he did for Jedi Survivor and stuff like that. Like all the stuff that he touched was good. He was good at what he did. One of the greats in that span. What is he? 53, 54 years old, whatever it was.
55.
Yeah. So EA right now has to be freaking the fuck out. Obviously, they're like, oh, this sucks and stuff, but they're like, he's our future. He was the future. We had a plan for Battlefield in 5 years from now. It was going to be a yearly thing, right? I'm assuming that was his plan because you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, but he's the glue, man. He was the glue.
He was everything.
So now, you think you're going to just pick a random dude to fill the spot? That's not how that works.
Yeah, I want to see Battlefield succeed. But right now, they're a boat without a rudder. And they have no idea what they're doing, right? We know before Vince Zampella took over, Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, 88% of the people never worked on a Battlefield game before when they made Battlefield 2042. Now they made Battlefield 6. They had 5 studios, okay? They needed good management. He was a good manager, knew how to put stuff around. And that's gone now. Now, I know there's other people there that have been around for a while, but again, the rudder. You can have a guy running the ship and he knows how to steer the ship, but without a rudder, you do this and nothing happens with the wheel. And I think that's what's happening with Battlefield right now. I think they're in massive trouble. 1, with the player base numbers going down. 2, with the content for the live service of what they were going to do. And now the future of the entire game, it's not going to be the same. So we'll see what happens going in the future. What do you think, Sarge? Anything on top of that? You already said it.
I thought I already said it.
Krebs says, do you see Star Citizen get release date in 2026 with the game passing 1 billion player funding number? Yeah, we talked about it earlier about the $1 billion.
Nope.
Oh, did
No
we?
reason.
I don't even think we brought it up.
There's
We
no
started talking
reason.
about it before the show started.
There is no reason for them to release it. There's no reason.
It's an alpha 13 years. 13 years. They promised the single player game 13 years ago. They were making it. Still not released.
Still collecting money.
Still collecting the money. Just like I said earlier, if you want an Elder Scrolls 6, stop playing Elder Scrolls Online. If you want a Grand Theft Auto 6, you got to stop playing Grand Theft Auto Online. You want a Star Citizen to be done, stop playing it. So they put the fucking thing out because they keep making more and more money off of the actual, in the alpha state and whatnot. So, yeah, it's crazy. 13 years.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Next one, Krebsy says, everyone forgot about this, but what is High Guard? A battle royale, a hero shooter? I shouldn't be asking this question since the launch is less than a month away. Yeah, it's the end of this month.
Crazy, do you really care though? Like, is it something? Is it something you're really going to want to play? Is High Guard on your list?
It's a PvE game. Okay, it's like a hero shooter meets a. I honestly don't know what it is. I honestly don't care what it is. We might, for fun, try it out because it's free to play at the end of the month. Just try it out one day on the night stream and see what it is. But I'll be honest, I don't give a shit. Even if it is a great game. Even if it's a great game, okay? I'm playing Fortnite. I'm playing Roadcraft. I'm playing Wayfinder. I'm playing Arc Raiders. I'm playing Marvel Rivals. I'm playing... Where the fuck is it going? Where's it going? Because even if it's the best game, I still don't have the time. I still want to complete some games. I want to complete Wayfinder. I want to complete Roadcraft, right? I want to finish my Battle Pass in Fortnite, right? Where am I playing this? I'm not playing it. It goes in the back burner, and then it goes into the forget back burner. It goes into the back burner, the backlog of I forget where it is. It goes to where toys never exist anymore, right?
You only have so much time.
Yeah.
All right. Get ready for 20,000 games this year, bro.
Do you see? I asked this question in my morning stream. Do we think 2026 is going to beat that, or is it going to collapse further? Like, do we think it's going to go back down to like 18,000, 17,000?
No, you're gonna have more cheaper games, less expensive games. The number will probably be the same or a little bit higher. You don't even know about all the games that we're talking about. You're just told a number.
Yeah, we're just told
right?
19,100.
So if it was 18,000 2 years ago, then it was 19,000 last year. Do you think it's going to go down this year?
I kind of.
It's just.
I don't know. I think. I think if it goes up, I think it goes up slightly. Right.
Okay.
But I think it's a downfall. I think 2026 will be the downfall of AAA games.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah, I think that, and again, I don't mean that they're all going to bomb and fail. I think this is the turning point.
Yeah, but you need to have the corpos fail enough times to know they can't make any more money in it, and we haven't reached that point yet.
AA is going to thrive this year. I think indie games and AA games, I think, will thrive this year.
Yep. The talent's going to start to show. The teams with the talent is going to start to show.
Next question. Should the person who designed the 2026 logo for the New York Ball drop the fire since it... You know what? I'm so glad you brought this up. Last night when I was watching the thing, I said, it says 2024. My wife's like, no, it doesn't. It's 2026. I'm like, that looks like a 4. Me and her had like a little argument for like 5 minutes. I was like, why would you make the 6 look like a 4? Did you see the ball drop in New York, Sarge?
No.
Let me bring this up.
Yeah, you're going to bring up 2024 and 2026 for a comparison?
No, I'm just going to show you 2026.
Do you think New York's spending more money on balls, bro?
Look at this number. Whoever designed this needs to get fired. Where is the...
Maybe they just flipped the 4 around and it was a 6. You know what I mean?
No, it looked terrible when you
flip the 4 around and you get rid of the little stem, it looks like a 6.
This is a blurry thing, right? But it's like the way they have the shape. When you quickly glance at it, when it shows it, it looks like a 4. I was like, why does it say 2024? They're like, no, it looks like a 6. I'm like, I guess it looks like a 6, but
you're having a stroke. Don't worry.
I'm not the only one. Krebsy said the same thing.
It's a 6.
I know it's a 6. Obviously, it's 2026.
If it had a stem, it would be a 4. You know, a little longer in the bottom, it'd be a 4.
I don't know. Krebsy, I'm with you. Yeah, they should fire whoever did that.
Nobody gets fired anymore. You know how this works. They get reprimanded and they get promoted. They don't get fired.
All right, next one. Do you think the people actually buy a $5,000 NVIDIA 5090 just for their games still be unoptimized?
The guys who can afford it, yes.
They don't care. They don't
care.
The people with $5,000 all turn, they don't even know their television does 4K. They don't care. They're just like, yeah, it's the best TV. I'll take it.
Yep. That's
Take
exactly how it works.
Yeah. They think their car has a V12 because it was told it had a V12, but it actually has a V8. They don't care.
They don't care.
They just pay the money.
Right. They don't open up the hood. The guy told them.
Yeah.
I gave him the
This is
money.
the best car. This is the best car that money can buy. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. 59.
Let's see. Next one. Wayfinder stream when? We'll probably do one maybe Tuesday.
Imagine having the AI in your own house that when you download new games, it just tells you before you even play them, don't even bother. Right? like you download a game from Steam and your AI comes on and goes, I've already looked at the game, don't bother.
Right.
You're under 3 hours, just return it now.
Yeah. AI tells you it sucks before you even play.
Yeah, your AI on your own computer tells the game sucks. You
don't bother playing this game.
Yeah. Or better yet, it'll play it for you and say, I already played it. You don't want it. Return it. Right. Yeah. That's what
ChatGPT. Play this game and let me know if it's good.
Yeah. They'll never let that slip, right? What do you mean your guys are giving them AI that tells them if the game is good or not? Based on what? Well, we let them play every game. We let the AI play every game in existence, and it knows what's good and what's bad. So now when a new game comes out, it just goes, no, not this one.
Yeah, it's excellent. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah.
Ray says, will competition create better games?
Yes.
How many studios will die before the end of the decade?
A lot.
A lot have already gone.
A lot.
I'll say this, over or under 30?
Die this year?
No, by the end of the decade. So 4 years.
In 4 years, 30 plus. Easy.
Yeah, I say over.
Easy. Right? I like to look at devs as molecules, right? And certain molecules will attract to other molecules, but if they're too far apart, they can't get together. But if you have like conventions, whatnot, and devs talk to devs, and they start forming little clusters, and those are the teams that end up doing well. Do yourself a favor. Go look at the old Bungie crew that made Halo. Go look at them, right? Go look at the photos of these guys. Nerds making games for nerds. That's what it was. All this foo-foo nonsense that we have now, not working out. How many companies need to go out of business before you realize that guys aren't making games for guys anymore? Just take a look around. Take a look around. Everything's wearing a dress. Just take a look around. Nonsense.
Last question. Have you guys played the new Warframe update? I haven't played Warframe in like 3 years. Whenever the first update came out for the open world, Altair, is the last time I tried it. Was that 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I haven't touched Warframe. I want to, but remember the games I announced? I don't have time. Someone said it earlier in the morning stream. There's like, 18 plants, 11 plants, whatever the hell it is. Full story, all this other stuff. I'm like, Warframe sounds so good, but it also sounds overwhelmed because I haven't played it in such a long time. I don't know. I want to play it, but I just don't know. Like I said, I want to finish a couple games first, and then maybe I'll play it later this year.
There's so many, dude. Like, do you realize that if you're telling me there's 18,000 games, and I talk to everybody in this chat separately for the next 5.5 hours, and I ask them what games they're looking at, there's going to be some overlap, but I guarantee you that everyone's looking at different 25 games in their life. And if everybody here's looking at 25 games and there's some overlap, there's still another 14,000 games that no one's even talking about. It's ridiculous.
Right. Not even touching.
So you think I'm worried about whether they make a console, the next game comes out? I don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. Right? I want to know when the next team of guys together is doing great things like Clair Obscur. I want to see the next group of guys that do that. Not another Clair Obscur, but the next group of guys that go, hey, we know how to make games. Show me. Right? That's what I want to see. I want to see guys who know how to fucking make games. Talent sells games.
Kangard says, super late, but saw the ARC talk earlier on stream. They forced the player base to migrate to a pay-to-win remaster. Lost a ton of players. Revenue dropped. This is why they're delaying it. Get what you deserve. Yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's like the game 6 years and they're still working on it. Now it doesn't come out for 2 more years. Guess what? Launch in 2028. Nobody's going to care. Nobody gives a shit about Ark anymore, right?
They think these games have like unlimited life shelf, like they're all little jars of honey or peanut butter they can just pull out of the closet, and you say, "Hey, look what I got."
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. You got milk. You got milk, and it's past the date, buddy. No one cares anymore.
Yeah,
We got next game.
It's so ridiculous on how many.
Next game.
I always say, "What have you done for me lately?" Right? So, I don't know what you think about this. A question for you, Sarge. Expedition 33, right? People were saying, you know, they're already talking about making the sequel to the thing. I said because there was no expectations, right? Sandfall never made a game before, right? They said it. We've never played it, right? So we played Expedition 33. People were blown away by Expedition 33, right? This game company now is the next CD Projekt Red for people, right?
Well,
they're the next BioWare, right? Because they're no. What I'm saying is that you had no expectations when the game came out, and now people play it, and now they're blown away by this. So if you were this developer, would you double down and make a sequel to the game? Or would you go somewhere else and make a different game? Right? Because the expectations for this game, now obviously whatever game they make, everyone's going to be like, man, I can't wait to see what they do next. But you as a developer, would you go on to the sequel? Or would you go somewhere else and do a different game and then do the sequel after that game? Would you go to a different game first and then go back to the sequel? Or would you do your sequel next?
If I follow the negativity that the way that they talk about Clair Obscur, once is luck, twice is the skill, 3 times is a team. You know, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Like I would say, whatever they make next, I would look at. It doesn't have to be the sequel. Anything they make, because if they found a team of people that work well together and they have the focus of whatever it is they want to do, whatever the next game is, it should be on the same level. Like the same kind of passion for the project. You know what I mean?
No, I understand the passion, but I'm asking you, do you think they do the sequel to Clair Obscur? Or do they make a separate game and then go back to the sequel to... Because they talked about there is going to be a sequel. Well, do you think they should do the sequel next, or do you think they should do something else and then go to the sequel?
I'll be honest with you, I don't think they want to be typecast. I think that they're new at it. I don't think they want to try something else. I think they'll do something else before they do a sequel.
Mo says it's not a sequel, just another game in the universe.
I mean,
if it's in the universe, I still think that's
think about the way that they have us of trained. They want instead of before, whereas we make a game, we come out with a kick-ass trailer, we get a bunch of you to buy it, you keep it past the return date, and then we have your money, right? And then whether you play it or don't play it, we have your money, right? But we want to sell it in the first month, right? That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Now, you guys keep coming up with these ridiculous ways to keep me in a game for months on end, free to play, whatever, subscription, battle pass, all these things. You want me to spread out this money over time. Meanwhile, there's always another game coming. So why do I want to stay with you? Right?
Yeah.
The model of making the game and we buy it or not buy it and we move the fuck on worked. They somehow want us to stay floating around inside all these games for months at a time. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I got other shit to do.
I think a lot of people learned the lesson when they played Destiny, because they were just playing Destiny for 4 years. Just Destiny for 4 years, for 5 years, for 6 years, right? If it went on to Destiny 2, they just kept playing. But when people say it all the time, when they stopped playing Destiny, they started playing other things, right? They started playing they're like, oh my God, there's a shit ton of games. Can you imagine there's 19,000 games on Steam? You're playing Destiny. You're just playing the one game to rule them all, or you're playing World of Warcraft, or you're playing...
The guys that they hire were psychological experts. We know this. We talked about this. If you don't think you're being psychologically manipulated by the gaming industry, you're dreaming. If you're playing the same game only, and maybe you play a couple other games, but for an entire year, you're playing only 3 games, they have you. They found out your number. Yeah. They found out how to capture you, and you've been captured. That's how it works.
I just want to play a game and move on.
Yes.
I do. I just want to play a game and move on. There's a couple games I want to go back and play. There's the Marvel Rivals. There's the thing, but I don't feel like I'm attached to that. I feel like I could play that a couple days and then move on.
That kind of game is programmed that way. You're not supposed to be in it forever. You're supposed to play what you like with your friends on a weekend, and then you wait till the character comes out, a new character that you like, and you go back in and play it again.
Right. It's not like a checklist I have to keep going back to. Jay Breezy says, 30, I was listening to the beginning of you, and you talked about fiber. He says, I live in Kissimmee. Spectrum is calling it fiber powered. Yeah, I didn't understand. The guy was telling me in his broken English, he was telling me it's fiber, but through a coax. I was like, how does that work? Because fiber is it's fiber tube.
It's words that
with
I made
light
up
traveling through it.
Yeah, it's words that
coax cable's copper wire going through the.
Trust me, bro. Trust
me. I don't know.
Trust me.
Yeah, Spectrum finds a way. Yeah, look, as long as I get my 1,000 up, 1,000 down, I don't give a shit what they call it.
Bro, let me know when you get 1,000 up, 1,000 down. Let me know.
I will let you know, because you'll know, because I'll be streaming on every fucking platform known to man with 1,000 upload. I'm not joking. If I get 1,000 down, 1,000 up, I'm streaming on Kick, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, wherever I can. All right.
No, it's what he said, Jay. It's what he said, Jay. He said that he would be getting 1,000. That's what he said.
No, there's two different versions, Jay Breezy. If you go to Spectrum, there's one that does the 600 down, 600 up, and then there's the other one that does the 1,000 up and 1,000 down or whatever. Yeah. Even if I did the 600, I'm streaming on all platforms, because I'm going from 20 upload right now to 600 upload. You better believe I'm like, yeah, everywhere I go. I'm on everything. Boom. 30 NSG everywhere.
The sphere.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll be there. Book me on the stream. All right. That's going to do it for the first episode of 2026, but episode 470 for Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We do appreciate you if you're coming out and hanging out with us. If you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, I do appreciate you very much. There's many ways you can support this channel. You can do a membership, which is $5. We do morning shows, a daily grind, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We do end up each week on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with the Generation X Gaming podcast. There's also another Generation or 30 and Still Gaming channel. There's also a Nerding with 30 channel, which I'm going to try to do more content for this year in 2026. So you can support us that way. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also go and listen to the music that we've created using AI. No one's hiding it. I wrote the songs. AI made the music. Combined, we made gaming masterpieces. So go check that out.
Where do you take your words away?
Yeah, on Spotify, you can go check that out. You can also watch the past broadcasts on Spotify as well. We appreciate you very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and enjoy the rest of your 2026.
Game on, gamers.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical